seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. The Spartans are state champions for the first time in school history. McLaughlin the rebound. The clock hits 0. The Spartans are state champions.
Homestead will win the victory bell for the first time in school history.
Goody to the basket, goes up and throws it down. Boom shakalaka, pick another SAC Holiday Tournament crown.
It's rivalry week in the SAC as the Carroll Chargers visit the Homestead Spartans. Two of the three teams tied atop the conference. Who will come out victorious? Good evening, everyone. I'm Ashton Ackman, and welcome into the Optimum Performance Sports pregame show. We're coming to you live from Dave Walters Memorial Stadium on a cold and windy evening as two teams coming in with identical 5-1 records square off in a game that is bound to determine who moves on or who falls out of SAC championship contention. In his 17th season, Coach Chad Zolman is hoping to lead the Spartans to their second straight conference title to keep the victory bell here at Homestead. You'll hear his interview with WCYT's Matt Saalfrank later on. And Evan Ormsby is starting to find his stride. The senior quarterback threw 5 touchdowns last week, 2 to Nate Anderson, 2 to Ethan Chambers, and 1 to Jared Kistler. He threw for 294 total yards against Northside without a single interception. After week 2, Evan's numbers are unreal. In the 4 games since, he has thrown for 842 yards, 15 touchdown passes, and only 1 interception. We'll hear from Evan a little later on in the pregame show. And while a lot of credit goes to Ormsby, this Homestead offense as a whole is starting to shine, with teams focusing on stopping Braden Hardwick and the run game. The other playmakers have stepped up. In fact, Homestead has scored 5 or more touchdowns in each of the last 4 contests after only scoring 4 total touchdowns in the first 2 games of the season combined. Before the season, the talk of Homestead's offense was senior running back Braden Hardwick and the tandem wideouts of Jared Kistler and Ethan Chambers, but junior wide receiver Nate Anderson has quietly had a huge offensive year. He is currently leading the Spartans in receiving yards and touchdowns and is scored on the team in receptions. And that's all in 5 games as he missed game 1 of the season. Let's take a look at last week's game now. With a 56-36 win over the Northside Legends last Friday, the Spartans are in control of their own destiny to win its 2nd consecutive SAC championship. Who would have thought way back after the first game of the season when the Spartans lost to Northrop, they'd be here tonight with a chance to possibly put themselves in the driver's seat to win another SAC title. So after 6 weeks of the season, 3 teams are tied atop the conference. Let's look at these 3 teams, see who is left on their schedules, and play out the scenarios to win a title for each team. Homestead controls their own destiny. If they win out, no one can catch them in the SAC. Remember, in the conference, tiebreakers do take place, so thanks to a head-to-head win over Bishop Dwenger, the Spartans will get the crown. In any scenario, both the Spartans and Saints tie at the top. Bishop Dwenger has an easier schedule in games, but still need Homestead to lose once more to avoid being tied with them at the end of the season. Carroll, on the other hand, needs more help than either of the two. The Chargers must hand Homestead a loss tonight and hope the Saints trip up somewhere in the remaining 3 games. And if for some reason all 3 teams tie after week 9 concludes, that will be an odd scenario that has come into play before. The most likely way that scenario would happen would be Carroll winning tonight and Dwenger losing once again. So in that scenario, all 3 teams would get a share of the conference championship due to no clear tiebreaker scenario with all 3 teams beating each other. So as a recap, here is what we do know. Homestead wins out, they can't be caught. Bishop Dwenger is rooting for Carroll tonight, and Carroll needs to win out and hope someone knocks off Bishop Dwenger. One thing is for sure, that after tonight, we will know who is realistically alive and who isn't in terms of the SAC championship. That will bring us to our first break, and don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will break down Homestead's opponent for tonight. Rivalry is about to get underway. More from Homestead after this.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Homestead. It's a brisk 53 degrees under partly cloudy skies here at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. Temperatures are really going to plummet as we head through the night, and the winds, those are going to pick up too, a sign that fall is here. And welcome back to Homestead High School as we get set for the conference rivalry matchup between the Spartans and the Chargers. Everyone in the area knew this Carroll team would be tough to beat this season, and so far that has been true. The young man leading this talented team is Jeff Becker, who is now a junior and has gotten plenty of experience from 2019 after Carroll went 6-3 and lost to Homestead in the sectional championship. But tonight, Carroll is ready for some revenge and come into this game off a 66-0 win against Southside last week. Be looking for the Carroll quarterback to get the ball to wide receiver Mason Angler to put Carroll on the board early. Similar to Homestead tonight, Carroll will focus on the pass game. No clear number one running back has emerged at Carroll, as most of their offensive production has come through the air. We could see a lot of passes tonight from both Becker and Ormsby, and that's a key for this Homestead defense. Dwenger has had success 2 weeks ago by putting the pressure on Becker. Against the Saints, he got uncomfortable in the pocket, and that's what led to mistakes. That will bring us to our next break, and don't go anywhere. When we come back, you will hear WCYT's Matt Saalfrank sit down with Homestead coach Chad Zolman. We're inching closer to kickoff between two SAC rivals. More from Dave Walters Memorial Stadium after this.
It's rivalry week in the SAC. Tonight, Homestead versus Carroll. With a conference title on the line, the Spartans must win this game to keep the victory bell for another year. Watch the game on Homestead Live or listen on the Point 91 FM. Kickoff at 7.
He was named first team all-conference.
And welcome back to Homestead as we get set for tonight's matchup against the Carroll Chargers. You'll get a chance to hear from Coach Zolman as he sat down with WCYT's Matt Saalfrank.
Welcome back to the OPS pregame show. I'm now joined by Homestead Spartan head coach Chad Zolman. And coach, another big win last week against a solid Northside program. Final score being 56-36. Overall, what are your takeaways from that game?
I think we started slow. I don't think we started the way we wanted to in that game, especially defensively. And I think we came alive and defensively then in the second and third and on. But a little slow start. I thought the offense performed really well, though. They moved the ball well and through the air. They ran the ball well. So it was a good night for the offense.
And it feels like I'm starting to become a broken record when I say this, but Evan Ormsby had another huge game last week. 5 pass touchdowns and 1 rush touchdown for the Spartans last Friday, which happened to be on his birthday. How special was that for you and the team to see Evan perform well once again, but this time on his birthday?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, played really well, was making good decisions, put the ball in really good spots. So, and it was his birthday, so it makes it an extra special day for him. He won't forget it.
And a lot of credit goes to Ormsby, but the receiving group has also been playing very well the past few weeks. We touched on this last week, but how nice is it to have a group of receivers like you do this season, with any one of them capable of going off for a big game?
Yeah, we were blessed, and we've been blessed for a while. We've had good receiving core for many years, and this is no exception. And I think they're starting to show now. And you're right, you can take away one, but we feel like we've got a couple other guys that can catch the ball and make big plays for us.
Coach Chad Zollman joins me here in the pregame show. And last week was the first time we saw the mercy rule in action this season as the Spartans built a 35-point lead towards the end of the third quarter before Northside scored a few more times late to make the final look a little bit closer than it actually was. The Homestead defense really stepped up and held Deuce Taylor and the rest of the Northside offense in check the entire game.
Yeah, that's not an easy feat. He can really sling it, and they've got really good receivers, and we were worried about him all week, and so we played well. We gave up a couple there late that we kind of feel like we should have defended better, but overall, especially starting about that second and third quarter, I thought our defense really stepped up and played well.
Yeah, and after the first quarter, you trailed 7-0, but put up 28 points in the second quarter and held the Legends' offense to no points, as their only points came on a kickoff return touchdown in that second quarter. What do you think changed from the first to the second quarter that sparked the Homestead offense as you continue to put up the points the rest of the game?
Well, it's hard to simulate what they're going to do in practice, and so their offensive line was pretty good, and they did a good job, I thought, with the pass pro, and I thought they ran the ball effectively early on. And I think it took a while for us to adjust to it and make sure that we were hitting our assignments correctly. And so as the game went along, I think we figured things out a little bit better.
And, Coach, this season has not been kind to the running back position. Last week we saw Braden Hardwick go out with an injury early. His replacement, Nick Siddharth, had a great game, but he has also dealt with a few injuries this week in practice. Can you tell us what their status is for tonight and who would be next up on the depth chart at the running back position?
That's a good question. Hardwick is cleared to play, so he's good to go. Nick is also cleared tonight, but he has an injury that may prevent it still, and we're probably looking at Des Smith and Ryan Burton would be coming to play a little bit next.
All right. And tonight is senior night for Homestead. After a special senior class in 2019, the 2020 class this year is also really talented. What do some of these players mean to you in this program?
Well, when you get a group of guys who dedicate themselves for 4 years, and it's not an easy commitment. It's a lot of work in the off season. It's in the weight room. It's doing things for 37 weeks that nobody sees. It's all behind doors and when it's still dark in the morning, things like that no one else sees. So when they do that for 4 years for us, we feel like it's a special group. And if we get a good group like this that comes through and sticks with it, good things happen. And so I'm just proud of how hard they've worked and how far they've come and the way they've led this year. They've done a great job for us.
And tonight, in a sense, is the SAC championship game. If you win, you just need to close out Wayne and Southside to get the bell for another year. But if Carroll wins, that makes things a lot harder for you guys having 2 losses. What is it like preparing and practicing this week leading up to a matchup as big as this one even the entire state is keeping its eye on?
Well, we don't really approach it that way. You approach it like it's the biggest game of the year, but you do that last week and you're going to do it next week. And we tell the kids that all the time. Every time you win, next game gets a little bit bigger. And so we've been on a nice little streak here, and so this is a big game because of that. And so you approach it and prepare the best that you can. And these kids know the situation. We don't have to mention it to them. They understand who we're playing. They understand the magnitude of the game and all that sort of thing. So we really don't talk about it a lot. We just talk about playing for your brothers and playing as hard as you can, being assignment sound and technically sound, and being coachable. All those types of things is what we really preach and harp on all week.
Once again, I'm joined by Coach Chad Zollman here in the pregame show. And the Homestead defense was able to shut down the state passing leader Deuce Taylor last week, but now face the second leading passer in the state, Jeff Becker. What is it going to take to slow down Becker and his receiving group down tonight?
Similar effort to last week. They're a talented group. They execute at a very high level, so they run great routes. They're crisp. They're on time. And then Becker on a dead play makes something out of nothing. He'll scramble around, and then you have to scramble and cover for 7-8 seconds. Sometimes, if you watch him on film, it's just he's a tremendous football player. So we're going to do the best we can not to give up a big ball, and make sure that they're going to earn yardage. And when they catch it underneath, we'll come up and make sure we tackle well, and we have to stop the run as always. But it's a big task tonight.
And without telling us the game plan, did you see anything in the scouting report from the Bishop Dwenger and Carroll game from 2 weeks ago that gives you some ideas on how to contain this Carroll offense, which only the Saints have been able to do so far this season?
Yeah, we looked at some things, and we have some similarities on defense, we think, with the three-man front and some of the things that they did in coverage and on blitzes. And, we always look at films like that and gain some things. So we picked up a few things. Hopefully they'll work.
And this Homestead team, for the most part, has not trailed much this season. In fact, the most the Spartans have trailed this season is by 7 points to Bishop Dwenger and Northside. With Carroll's explosive offense, how important is it for the team to get off to a good start and not have to try and play from behind?
Well, that's true in any game. You want to get ahead, and it's harder to play from behind. And so the more momentum you can create early and gain that sort of thing, emotionally, I think it makes a big deal in a game like this. So, and it may not be that way. Who knows? You have a game plan, and a lot of times it's you come out and you're shocked when you walk away thinking that's not how I thought it was going to go. And so we have an idea of how we think we want it to go, but you never know.
And finally, Coach, can you give us some keys to Homestead Spartan victory tonight?
And we talked about a few. Containing their air attack is tough, and so we just have to make sure that. And they're going to have some success on throwing the ball, and they're probably going to have some success on the ground because they have a good offensive line. And we just have to make sure that we're not giving up big plays. And if you watch their films, they score on big play after big play. So that's one of the things on defense. We just want to make sure that we're making them earn first downs and earn their yardage. And on offense, they're solid. So we have to be efficient, stay in front of the sticks, no turnovers, and make sure that we are executing and matching what they do on offense too, because they are a high efficiency offense too. So those are the things I think are important for us.
All right, Coach. Thanks and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
High School Fight Song.
And you just heard from head coach Chad Zolman in his exclusive interview with WCYT's Matt Saalfrank, who will be on the call later tonight alongside Chris Kohrman. That will bring us to our next break, and don't go anywhere. When we come back, you'll hear Chris's sit-down with senior quarterback Evan Ormsby. It's SAC football on Homestead Live.
Rethink your limits.
I'm here with Homestead senior quarterback Evan Ormsby for this week's player interview here in the OPS pregame show. And Evan, this is our first time talking to you in the pregame show. So how would you say your season has gone so far this year?
Pretty good. First week was obviously rough, but we knew that we had to fight back and kind of prove ourselves all over again. And we've been fighting this whole season, just trying to keep that bell.
And last week, we saw you put on a great performance, throwing for 5 touchdowns and rushing for 1. So all of this happened on your birthday. So how special was that last Friday, performing so well on your birthday?
I mean, pretty special, but at the same time, I knew that I just had to do my job and then let my teammates around me do their jobs, and they ended up helping me out with all that.
It's clear that you have grown a lot as a player and a leader throughout the season. After a rough start to the season to now putting up some big-time numbers each week, what do you think the biggest reason for your, stepped up as a player?
Just getting comfortable with all of it and knowing and trusting in all my teammates and that they're going to get the job done if I get the ball to them or trust in them.
I'm here with senior Evan Ormsby in the Optimum Performance Sports pregame show. I know you have been a part of the varsity team for the past few years, but haven't really gotten any opportunities to shine. So after waiting for your turn, you are now the starting quarterback for one of the best teams in the area. How has the journey, been worth it now that you are the starting quarterback?
I mean, you just had to wait for your time, and when that time comes, you have to take advantage of it to the full extent, and that's kind of what I've been doing.
With last season's quarterback Luke Goody not playing football in 2020, the Spartans needed a new arm this year. So what has the process been like throughout the end of last season to this offseason, trying to figure out, who's going to be the starting quarterback, and when you realized that you had a shot at being the starting quarterback?
I mean, everybody knew that there were some big shoes to fill with Luke going and choosing to play basketball. And I kind of joined the football competition between Grady and Peyton and me. And we were fighting all summer for it, and it was pretty evenly. And then we found out I was going to be the starter. And kind of a weight just kind of got off my shoulders, and I kind of felt like, oh, yeah, this is what I should be doing.
And your receiving group this year is really talented. You got Jared Kistler, Ethan Chambers, Nate Anderson, and Gage Sparrow. You've seemed to be sharing the ball amongst 4 wide receivers the past few weeks. So how comfortable have you gotten with those guys and learning their strengths and weaknesses on the field?
Extremely comfortable. I trust in all of them and know that they're going to do their job so I can do my job and get them the ball so we can succeed as a team.
We know you have family associated with the quarterback position, as your older brother Logan, was a starter for Homestead a few years ago. So do you recall growing up, watching Homestead football and thinking that maybe you could be playing for Homestead one day?
Yeah, I always watched his games and saw him being as a starter and then doing so well. And then I'd always get questions from people like, are you going to be following in his footsteps? And I really never thought I would. But now that I am, it's kind of exciting, and it's just hey, that's another thing we can share.
I'm here with Evan Ormsby in the OPS pregame show. So let's take a look at tonight. You play Carroll, your arch rival. I know you don't directly go against the group, but how special is it competing against a team with Jeff Becker and that Carroll Charger offense that is one of the best in the SAC?
It's a big step. We know that they're a really hard team, and they know that they're kind of stopping us from going and winning the rest of the season, and they're another roadblock. But we know that to beat them, we have to play at our A game, and we got to do everything we can.
And like you said, a lot is on the line tonight, and in some ways it feels like an SAC championship game. You control your own destiny, meaning it is a must-win if you want any chance at getting that bell back and winning the SAC this year. So, what is it like having the opportunity to retain the belt for another year and having the shot at getting another SAC title?
It's pretty exciting, knowing that this game's has the importance of it, but every game has its importance, and we just know that we have to play the best game of our lives, and we have to do everything right and do our jobs and stay consistent throughout the whole game.
So this Carroll defense is solid as a unit, and they currently are allowing under 20 points per game. So what do you know about that Carroll Charger defense, and what is the game plan heading into tonight's game?
They run to the football really well. They hit hard, and they play as a full team, as a full unit. And we just have to be able to do our jobs, do our right routes, make our right reads, and not kind of go through the motions of a play and go 100%, and then we should be able to pull it out.
All right, thanks, Evan, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We will be right back with more of the OPS pregame show leading up to kickoff of tonight's Week 7 matchup right after this. You're listening to the Homestead Football on the Point 91 FM, a production of Homestead Media.
We're about to get underway at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. We'll join Matt Saalfrank and Chris Kohrman on the call after the break. Carroll at Homestead coming up shortly right here on Homestead Live.
Rethink your limits.
let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School. We welcome those of you who are on YouTube now joining us along with the radio audience. I'm Matt Saalfrank alongside Chris Kohrman. Exciting game tonight between Homestead and Carroll. Two rivals, both 5-1, a lot on the line. SAC title at stake. If Homestead wins, all they need to do is beat Wayne and Southside, which those teams are at the bottom of the conference, so you'd think Homestead not too much trouble with them if they are able to get past Carroll tonight. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, if they win tonight, that would knock Homestead out of contention for the SAC, opening the door for Bishop Dwenger to win because Dwenger owns the head-to-head result over the Carroll Chargers. But either way, a lot on the line tonight, Chris.
Yeah, a lot on the line. SAC championship potential for Homestead with a victory. Like you said, having to play Wayne and Southside next week, two of the bottom teams, the SAC. So this is a big game for both teams, but for Homestead, you know they got the easiest path. You win tonight.
But
that loss to Northrop in week 1, having huge impact.
SAC Holiday Tournament crown.
Chris, we know about Jeff Becker, the quarterback. Last week against Southside, 4 passing touchdowns and 1 rush touchdown. Season high 8 pass touchdowns against Northside. Also has 4 scores on the ground for the season. Who are some key receivers to watch out for tonight, Chris?
Well, I think if we're going to talk about receivers for Carroll, you got to look at Mason Englert. I mean, he's definitely the top guy for Carroll. Jeff Becker looks for him all the time, but I don't take out a Jamison Coverstone. I think he's a great ball player. He's quick, and then they got, Cam Hedgecock in there and Cooper Rudolph. I mean, I think you can't just say one wide receiver when it comes to Carroll.
Yeah, the Chargers first in class 6A scoring average as we're about set to get ready for kickoff. What are some keys for this Homestead team if they want to get the win tonight?
I think you got to look at that on the defense side of the ball. Stopping Jeff Becker is a big thing. Put pressure on him, and on the offense, just keep it rolling. Like you said, previous, can Evan Ormsby keep it going? Well, we'll see tonight. I think if he keeps it going, Homestead's looking at a victory tonight.
Carroll to receive as Homestead to kick off first. Cade Dynan, Braden Steely to return, along with Hunter Mertz on the far side, number 1. Carter Dixon to kick off for the Homestead Spartans, a junior, one of the best special teams players in the SAC, has 7 touchbacks on the season. 0-0, 12 minutes on the clock between two rivals, Homestead and Carroll. Dixon to kick off. It's a good one. Bounces first, eventually returned by Dine and goes along the left side. Hit hard at the 19-yard line. So right away, we're going to see Jeff Becker in this Carroll offense see what they can do against a very good Homestead defense.
Look at Trey Kriener in there on that tackle. Big hit there for Homestead. Good start, pinning Carroll deep in their own offensive zone. So we'll see what Carroll comes out with here. Jeff Becker probably going to look to run the show.
Carroll 2-0 on the road, coming off a 66-0 win against Southside last week. Jeff Becker, the key player, the quarterback for this Charger team. 3 out right, 1 out left. Englert on the near side. Coverstone in the slot. 1st and 10 from the 19. Becker hands it up the middle. That's lays off. Both teams' lines pushing. Not much there as Homestead Cronenwet in the tackle.
Yeah, Carroll looking to maybe establish a run game early, just try and get Homestead guessing a little bit. Just not that they're a one-trick pony kind of team. So we'll see if they continue to run the ball.
Lazoff last week, 5 carries, 81 rush yards, and 2 rush touchdowns. As on that play, Becker keeps it. It's the first down.
Yeah, like we said previous, Jeff Becker is really not afraid to run the ball if he has to. So he's definitely a vital part of that Carroll offense is him being able to do all sorts of different things.
Chargers in a hurry-up offense. First and 10 from the 33. No score, 11:26 in the first. Becker back to throw left side. That's complete along the left side, pushed out of bounds on the far side. Bowden Height with the catch.
Becker's pass complete to Height.
Yeah, Bowden Height in there on that catch. He's got 104 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns this year, so he's a good wide receiver for Carroll too.
Gain of 7. Now second and short. Back to throw Becker, left side, complete again. And out of bounds. Is that Height again?
Yeah, same play there for Carroll. They ran the exact same thing. Bowden Height with another catch. Another first down there for Carroll. Carroll's moving the ball real well.
And this hurry-up offense to either side. Englert and Coverstone on the near side. First and 10. Becker handoff up the middle. Ball out on the ground, but it appears he was down. Lazoff with the carry.
Yeah, got 8 to 9 yards there. Looked like he was down when that ball came out. So Carroll, second down here, second and short. They're still rolling with this hurry-up offense.
Second and 2 for Carroll on Homestead's 45. To either side. Becker, handoff to Lazoff along the left side. First down. Gets to the 38-yard line. Gain of 7. First and 10 now for Carroll inside the Homestead 40.
Ryan Burton in there on that tackle. I look for Ryan to have a good game tonight, for him to step back up. He had a great game last week, so look for that to continue tonight.
So far, Carroll moving the ball downfield. 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Back to snap is Becker for Carroll. He's hit. Flag thrown. As a couple Homestead defenders in on that sack. Parrish, one of them.
It looked like Isaac Parrish, Luke Palmer in there as well.
Holding on Carroll. Penalty is declined.
Holding on Carroll. Penalty is declined. So the sack stands. Palmer and Parrish with the sack.
Lost about 8 yards on the play.
Good stop there for the Homestead defense. Bringing up a second and long here for Carroll, trying to, make him feel a little bit uncomfortable now. They haven't really been put in a position like this.
For the Homestead defense, this is where you need to stop the Chargers as Carroll's moved the ball down the field pretty effectively so far. Now second and 18 from Homestead's 47. No score, 10:36 in the first quarter between Homestead and Carroll. Chargers with the ball. First possession of the game. Back to snap. Becker rolls out right side. Throws across the center, has a man. It's picked off. Barkus for the Spartans. And he's brought down at the 20 by Bowden Height, and Becker tossing the interception. That's just his 4th of the season.
Isaac Barkus in there on that interception. Great stop there for the Homestead defense, getting that Carroll Chargers offense off the field. They were, they had it cooking there, and then big interception there for Isaac Barkus.
Last year in the sectional championship, we saw Becker throw 4 picks, all to Jake Archbold, with Archbold graduated. Barkus stepping in for the interception now. Homestead defense, exactly what they needed. Offense now with the ball. For the Spartans, 10-16, no score, first and 10 from their own 20. Ormsby the QB. End around, that's Sparrow. He's swallowed up by the Carroll defense. That's McGinnis with the tackle.
Homestead ran that play a couple times early on against Northside with the handoff to Gage Sparrow there. So you look to see them do that, often tonight, I'm sure.
Craig McGinnis with the tackle as Homestead not much there. The first play from scrimmage for them after Becker threw the interception to Barkus. Second and 10 from their own 20. Homestead ball. Ormsby, hand off to Hardwick along the left side of the field. He breaks a tackle, has room. Hardwick gets the first down after he is pushed out of bounds by Aaron Stewart. 19-yard pickup for Braden Hardwick.
I'm telling you what, I think that's the key to the game tonight, getting Braden Hardwick going. Get some confidence boosted back into him. Left the game last week injured. So good to see him back out there running the ball.
Yeah, Hardwick a bit shaken up in the first half. Missed about 2.5 quarters against Northside, but good to see him to run that there. Now first and 10. 2 wide out right. 1 left. Ball snap. Play action to Ormsby. Runs to the right side. He's chased. Keeps it himself. And is tackled by 5 Carroll defenders. as he gets a gain of 6, now 2nd and 4 for the Homestead offense.
Ormsby likes to run the ball. He's not afraid to take a hit, so he picked up almost 5 yards there. So Evan Ormsby picking up some yards with his legs.
2nd and short now for Homestead. To either side, back to throw is Ormsby. Hardwick the running back. Ball snapped. Quarterback keeper Ormsby. Flag thrown. Gets a couple yards. That would bring up 3rd and short. Oh, we'll see what the penalty is. Holding against Homestead. That'll bring it back.
That's a 10-yard penalty.
Tough break there for Homestead, taking a 10-yard penalty there. They had something going, and then now they got to go back 10 yards. So tough break there for Homestead.
This is a Homestead offense that averages 31.7 points per game. That's 4th in the SAC. Offense much improved in recent weeks. After struggling the first couple weeks, Ormsby, the quarterback, has really played well, throwing 5 touchdowns each of the last 2 games for Homestead. 2nd and 12 after the holding penalty, no score. 8:53 to go in the first. Homestead ball from their own 37. 3 out left, 1 out right. Back to throw Ormsby. Tended for Hardwick, incomplete. Now 3rd and 12 coming up for Homestead.
Yeah, it brings up a 3rd down here for Homestead. Homestead's trying to keep the momentum that they had from that interception going. Now it brings up a 3rd and long. Homestead's got to try and find maybe a pass deep or something here to convert.
Homestead 43% conversion rate on 3rd downs this season. 3rd and 12 from their own 37 in the first quarter. Anderson and Chambers on the near side. Sparrow and Kistler on the far right side. Homestead looks to the sideline for the play. 3rd and long coming up for the Spartans on their own 37. Back to throws Ormsby. Throws right side. And that's picked off by Carroll at the 40. Still on his feet across the other 40. Steely with the pick for Carroll.
Carroll gets it right back there with an interception of their own. Looks to be a little shaken up after a tackle there. But Carroll with a good interception. Now the Homestead defense has to go back out.
Braden Steely, number 40, with the interception. He's listed as a 5'8" freshman as player down for Carroll. But that's exactly what the Chargers needed. After Becker throws a pick on the first drive, then Ormsby throws a pick on the first drive of the game. 8:37, player down for the Chargers. No score. It'll be Carroll ball at the 39-yard line of Homestead's.
Looks like Steely took a tough hit after the interception, but he's back up, so that's always good to see. Homestead's defense going to come back out and try and do what they did last time. Carroll's offense still moved the ball really well. You know, with the interception, they still moved the ball real well.
It's almost like that Becker first interception didn't happen. Similar field position for the Chargers. 1st and 10 from Homestead's 39. To either side, Becker, the QB for the Chargers. 1st and 10. Becker keeps it himself, pushes the defender down across the 35, still on his feet, out of bounds. Flag thrown, late hit. That's what it appeared to be from Homestead. Does get the first down, though.
Yeah, first down and more. Called a late hit there, I think, on Jeff Becker from a Homestead defender. Kind of looked like maybe he slipped a little bit with it, but ref called it, so Carroll's going to get a couple positive yards here.
Yeah, watching the replay, it does appear that he just slipped. I didn't really see a late hit, but yeah, they wave it off. I think that's a good call. But slippery on the sideline where Becker was at. So the first down for the Chargers after the Becker run.
Yeah, I agree there. It looked like he slipped, but Carroll's still picking up the first down.
Becker's dangerous. Not only a great passer, but a great runner. 1st and 10 coming up for the Chargers. The offense really close to the Homestead end zone.
Carroll's offense can fire on all cylinders. They've shown that they're not afraid to run the ball too. So Carroll's got an all-around very good offense.
They average 50.8 points per game, 1st in the SAC. 8:31, no score. Carroll ball, their second possession. Becker throws right side. That's complete to Englert. He's pushed out of bounds by Desmond Smith of Homestead.
Looks like a gain of maybe 3 or 5-yard gain there for Carroll. So Englert getting a reception. They're going to look to him tonight a lot more.
Mason Englert, 951 receiving yards, 14 receiving touchdowns in the season. He's one of the best receivers in the state. Pretty sure he's actually leading the state in receiving yards.
Looks like Carroll's going to come out here and try and keep it going here. 2nd and short.
2nd and 5 for Carroll. 3 receivers on the left side. Englert on the near side. Becker looks left, throws left into the end zone. That's dropped. Would have been a touchdown had he held on to it. That was intended for Cam Hedgecock. Good defense by the Homestead DBs.
Yeah, it looked like Aaron Wagner getting in there, getting a hand in there, making that drop pass there. So good to see him back out there. His first start on the year for Aaron Wagner. So good to see him getting some action early.
Englert on the near side, 3 receivers other sides. 3rd and 5 for Carroll, and Homestead's 22. Under 8 to go. Becker back to throw. Across the center. That's complete for a man. Coverstone. First down. Gain of about, 17?
Yeah, Coverstone in there on that catch. Trey Kriener in there on the tackle for Homestead. Trey Kriener has a total of 39 tackles this season, so he's having a good season himself.
1st and goal from the 6. Carroll getting close to the end zone in this rivalry matchup. Can the Homestead defense make a stop? Becker under center. And off to Mertz. Did he get in the end zone? It's close.
Mark him a yard short, says the ref on the far side from us. Mertz is a great runner there for Carroll. He does both. He's also a great kick returner. Carroll's on the 1-yard line now.
A gain of about 5 yards for Hunter Mertz. Now 2nd and goal from the 1. Becker, the QB. A couple of running backs in formation. Keeps it himself. Becker, that's a touchdown. Carroll, Jeff Becker, a 1-yard quarterback run. Puts Carroll on the board first.
Jeff Becker in there on that touchdown for Carroll. Great start for Carroll, getting some points up early on the Homestead defense. Try and change momentum now there. They got the interception. Now they got a touchdown. Carroll's looking good early.
6-0 Chargers after the Becker 1-yard TD run. PAT now for Sebastian Lopez.
The PAT is up and
good. 7-0 now. Carroll over Homestead, and oddly enough, this is the most Homestead has trailed all season, just by 7 points. They need to bounce back after Ormsby threw that interception in their last possession.
This is how last week's game started. Homestead started down 7-0. So now Homestead's got to look to bounce back like they did last week. They were able to come back and score a touchdown on Northside's defense. So look for them to come out here and try and do the same thing on Carroll's defense.
Yeah, the Chargers offense looked pretty dominant. Becker making some short passes, short completions to Hedgecock, Coverstone, Englert, Height, along with Mertz getting a rush near the goal line. So a lot of Chargers getting involved as they're able to score off that Homestead turnover.
Yeah, Carroll's got the weapons to not have to throw to just one wide receiver. They got options. So Carroll can fire on all cylinders on the offense side of the ball.
Keyser and Anderson back to receive for Homestead. On the kickoff, Evan Jester, number 99, 5'9", junior for the Chargers.
Evan Jester and a kick for the
7:02, Carroll leads 7-0 over Homestead in the first. Homestead to get their second possession after a turnover. First, kicks into the end zone. Touchback. So Homestead
First down and 10 for the Spartan offense.
will be 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And we'll see if the Spartans can bounce back after Evan Ormsby threw that interception to Steely in the last possession.
Yeah, you said it right there. Evan Ormsby going to look to come back out here and redeem himself. maybe try and get some points here for Homestead if he can.
Spartan offense, very solid. At home, they average 37 points per game, about 6 more than they do overall, which is good for second in the SAC. Both these teams are sectional opponents. Homestead and Carroll, 1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff up the middle. Hardwick has a seam. First down. Across the 40. Still has room across 50 now. Now to the 42-yard line. A big gain. 37-yard gain for Braden Hardwick on that rush. 1st and 10.
I talked to Coach Harkness, earlier in the day today, and I told him I think a big key for Homestead is get Braden Hardwick going, get a confidence boosted back in him, and that's what he's doing. 2 great runs for Braden Hardwick early in this game.
Hardwick with 7 rush touchdowns on the season. 1st and 10 from Carroll's 42. Flag
before the snap.
False start offense against Homestead. And those are the penalties that the Spartans can't afford if they want to stay in this one. Sloppy penalties like that can really hurt a team.
Yeah, well, you don't want to take a penalty like that after a big play, too, because you have the momentum, you get a big run, and then, boom, it stops right there with the penalty flag. So those are the penalties that Homestead's got to clean up in this game.
First 2 games of the season, Homestead averaged 14 points per game. They were 1-1. The last 4 games of the season, they're averaging 40.5 points per game, and they're 4-0. So the offense playing well as of recently. 1st and 15 from Carroll's 47. Hand off to Hardwick up the middle, evades a tackle, and brought down after a gain of 3. That was Liam Ottenweiler with the tackle for Carroll.
Homestead not afraid to hand the ball off to Braden Hardwick right now. They're comfortable with that. So look to do them a little bit more. Hand him the ball off a little bit more tonight.
2nd and 12. Coming up for Homestead. 2 on the right, 1 on the near side. Ormsby rolls out left side. Deflected. That was intended for Ethan Chambers. Now 3rd and 12 for Homestead.
3rd down and 12 coming up for the Spartans.
Brings up a 3rd and 12 here for Homestead. You got to think if maybe they get 8 to 10, they go for it. And if not, you look for a quarterback punt probably on 4th down. But Homestead's going to look to get it here. Maybe try and throw the ball again.
Yeah, Homestead coming off the 56-36 win against Northside. They led as much as 56-21 before Northside scored some late points. So Homestead really shut down the Legends, at least when the starters were in. 7-0 Carroll Homestead ball. 3rd and 12. Ormsby intended for Anderson. Some contact. Flag is thrown. Penalty going against Brandon Klug, the DB for the Chargers.
Going to be a pass interference there on Carroll.
The pass interference called on Carroll.
Tough break for them. They're getting a pass interference call, giving Homestead the 1st down.
Which results in a 1st down.
15-yard penalty. End result is a 1st down for Homestead. So the Spartan drive continues after the penalty against Carroll. 7-0 Homestead down, the most they've trailed all season. And they also trailed as much to Dwanger and Northside. 1st and 10 from the 29 of Carroll. Homestead ball. Ormsby play action. Throws across the middle. Has a man. Caught! Nate Anderson. Touchdown. A 29-yard reception.
How great has Nate Anderson been this year? Him and Evan Ormsby, they got a connection. You can see it. Nate Anderson in there for a touchdown there for Homestead. That would be his 3rd of the, well, it'd be his 9th of the year. So he's definitely doing a great job for Homestead.
Yes, 3rd in the last 2 weeks. So Nate Anderson playing well for the Spartans. Dugan for the PAT after Ormsby to Nate Anderson from 29 yards. Dugan to tie it up at 7. Kick is up. High one for a PAT, straight down the middle. Joe Dugan now 20 of 22 on PATs and game tied at 7.
Just like last week when Northside scored first, Homestead came out with an answer. They put up some points. So Homestead's always got an answer whenever a team jumps up on them, and I think that's a key point for Homestead is having an answer, and they had one tonight when Carroll scored.
Yeah, really great point, Chris. Is Homestead able to bounce back after the defense let Becker run for a 1-yard touchdown. The offense goes down the field, and gotta say, partly due to the penalty on it was 3rd and 12 for Homestead in a pass interference against Carroll, gave Homestead a first down, and then they were able to score the touchdown. But the Spartans to kick off. Carter Dixon now for Homestead.
Dixon's coming off he's having a great season. Blitz wrote an article, about the best SAC kickers and punt returners, and Dixon was right up there with the top punters. So Homestead's got a very good kicker and punter.
Steely and Dinan on the near side, along with Mertz to receive back deep for Carroll. Tied at 7, 5:34 in the first. Matchup between rivals, Homestead and Carroll. Dixon kick is up. Steely catches it at the 8-yard line. He's hit hard and dropped. Is that Kriener with the tackle?
Look at that second return there for Carroll. Trey Kriener's got both of them. So he's coming up with some big tackles on the kickoff. Trey Kriener in there on his second tackle there on kickoffs.
Tied at 7 as Carroll looks to put some more points up on the board and end a 6-game losing streak to Homestead.
Yeah, when I was told that Homestead had beaten Carroll 6 years in a row, I was surprised by that.
3 on the left side, 1 out right. Back to throws. Becker hands it off to Lazoff. Up the middle. It's a couple yards, but the Homestead defense able to push him back. But still, that'll bring up 2nd and about 7 or so.
Yeah, it looked like Cole Etchison in there on the tackle. So Etchison getting in there, and Trey Kriener looked like he got in there too. So Homestead's defense is coming up with a stop there.
2 either side for Carroll. 2nd and 5 on their own 28-yard line. Tied at 7 in the first quarter. Throws left side. That's complete for Carroll. Bowden Height the catch.
That's Height's 3rd catch of the game, I believe. So they're looking to him a lot, not going with the obvious player. Mason Englert, not going to throw to him every time. They got other weapons.
Becker spreading it around. 1st and 10 for Carroll. Becker keeps it himself, runs along the left side, has a seam, gets the first down. Ball is out. Homestead says they have it, but Carroll also says they have it. Either way, it was a first down for the Chargers.
Ryan Burton in there, got him on the legs, and then the ball came out after Ryan hit him, and then a Homestead defender knocked the ball loose. So good for Ryan Burton getting in there and getting that tackle there.
Yeah, Carroll catches a break to avoid the turnover, which would have been their 2nd of the game. 2 either side again, 1st and 10 from their own 46, tied at 7. Hand off to Lazoff along the left side. It's finally brought down. Cronenwet was the original Homestead defender to grab his leg and pull him back down.
Cronenwet had him there at the beginning, tried to wrap him up, and then Luke Palmer came in with the hit. Homestead's defense are coming up with some big stops right now.
Loss of 2 on 1st and 10. Now 2nd and 12 from their own 44. Tied at 7. 4:13 to go. Carroll ball. Becker back to throw. Looks to the left side. That's complete again. That was Keyser with the tackle. Rudolph had the catch.
Yeah, Rudolph looked like he did a curl route there, a short curl route. Go up 5-yard stop, catch it. Keyser was right there behind him for the tackle. Brings up a 3rd and short here for Carroll.
It was gain of 2, 10-yard catch by Cooper Rudolph, only a sophomore. 3rd and 2 for Carroll on Homestead's 46. Becker handoff to Mertz. It's close to the first down marker on 3rd and short.
Mertz hit in the backfield and then was able to shake off the tackle and get the first down there for Carroll. So good pickup there for Mertz.
Gain of 2. So barely gets the first down, but the Chargers keep the chains moving. Englert and Coverstone on the near side. 2 on the left side. Becker, the quarterback for Carroll. 3:20 to go. 1st and 10 on Homestead's 44. Ball snap back to throw is Becker. Looks to the left side. Deflected, it appeared. Not on target. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, pass deflected there by the Homestead defense. Jeff Becker looking to pick up a first down with that pass. Looked like he had a wide receiver open, but batted down there by the Homestead defense.
I think that was Andrew Baer who had the deflection at the line. So now 2nd and 10 for Carroll 3 on the near side, 1 on the far side for receivers. Becker keeps it. Jukes a defender across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Gain of 8. Now 3rd and short.
Palmer in there on that tackle, able to wrap him up, keep him shy there, making them try and convert a 3rd down here.
So 3rd and 3 from Homestead's 37. 3 receivers outright, 1 out left. Becker, the quarterback, along with the running back, backfield. Becker runs to the right side, has a man, complete. That's height, pushed out of bounds. More than enough for a first down.
Jeff Becker looks like he's got a favorite wide receiver out there tonight. Bowden Height with another catch. Trey Kriener in there on the push from behind. Carroll picks up another first down. Carroll's moving right now.
Yeah, doing that hurry-up offense. Game tied at 7. Under 2.5 to go in the first. Between rivals Homestead and Carroll, Becker takes the snap. Plenty of time. Deflected by Palmer. Could have been a pick, but incomplete pass.
Palmer almost had the pick there, but able to bat it down. Brings up a second down here for Carroll. Getting the pick would have been nice, but batting that ball down right there doesn't hurt. Keeps them from picking up any yards.
2nd and 10 now for the Chargers. Stops the clock, 2:19 to go from Homestead's 27, tied at 7. Becker waiting for the snap. Takes the snap. Plays blown dead. False start against Carroll.
Carroll taking a false start there. Those are the kind of penalties we talked about with Homestead. Those are the penalties that you can't take. Carroll takes one right there to push them back even further than what they were. Brings up a 2nd and 15 for Carroll.
Both teams with some penalties early on, hurting them. As the Carroll offense still out on the field, looking to get the win over their hated rival, Homestead. Carroll 5-1 on the season, only lost to Dwanger a couple weeks ago by 10. 2nd and 15 from the 32 of Homestead. Tied at 7. Charger ball back to throw is Becker again. He's chased, keeps it himself, gets across the 30, now the 20, cross to the 10, pushed out of bounds finally. Gain of about 20.
Ethan Chambers able to push Jeff Becker out there. Jeff Becker, a great run, keeping the drive alive there for Carroll. They were backed up, and then Becker was able to come up with a big run. That's a big play for the Carroll offense there.
Yeah, Becker is doing some damage against the Homestead defense running the ball. 1st and 10 from the 11. Close to the end zone is Carroll. Tied at 7. Back to snap Becker. Across the middle. Incomplete pass. Couldn't find his target. That will be 2nd and 10 from the 11.
Looks like Jeff Becker was trying to throw it in there to Coverstone, but Coverstone too far out in front of him. Brings up 2nd down here for Carroll. They're going to look to just keep it going. Look for Jeff Becker maybe to run it again.
Yeah, the Chargers are 4th in state scoring average. Close to the end zone again, facing the 2nd and 10 from Homestead's 11. Becker to throw. He's hit. Has a man. Has Coverstone. Into the end zone is the defender of Homestead not able to make the tackle.
Jamison Coverstone there with the touchdown for Carroll. Short pass from Becker to Coverstone. Looks like he got hit and then came up with a touchdown there for Carroll.
Appears that's Etchison who's down, diving for the tackle, and couldn't see what happened, but clearly shaken up as he hit the ground. After Carroll, they score another touchdown.
Yeah, Carroll on the board again, 13-7 now, pending the PAT, but Hope Etchison's all right. He's definitely a big part of this Homestead defense.
So Coverstone, an 11-yard reception.
Etchison able to get back up and jog it off, so good for Homestead. They're getting a key defensive player back up. Looks like he's ready to continue in the game even. He looks like he's ready for the next play, so that's good for Homestead.
Becker to Coverstone from 11 yards away.
97, Sebastian Lopez in to attempt the extra point.
Lopez with the PAT coming for Carroll. To make it 14-7, Carroll. Lopez kick, also high.
The PAT is
But straight
good.
down the middle, 14-7 Carroll.
Score now, Carroll 14, Homestead 7.
As Becker able to find Coverstone from 11 yards away. Now it's 14-7 Carroll on top.
Yeah, Carroll up 14-7 now, and now like we talked about last time, Carroll threw a touchdown, or ran for a touchdown. We look for the Homestead offense to come out with an answer again. That's something that Homestead has been able to do in the past, is come up with answers after team scores. So we'll see what they come out with here.
Yeah, the Carroll offense looking pretty good so far. This Homestead defense is really strong, but so far the Chargers have been moving the ball pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, they're making it look easy out there. They're able to get a couple big, plays there. Jeff Becker able to run it. Jeff Becker able to throw it. So he's a dual-threat quarterback, and Homestead's got to be aware of that on defense.
Yeah, Carroll looking for their first win at Homestead since 2014. So, yeah, it's been a while since they won here. 14-7, Carroll on top to kick off. Jester to kick off. Sparrow and Anderson back to return. Kick is up. That's Sparrow at the goal line. Now across the 10. Jukes a defender across the 30-yard line. Great return for Gage Sparrow. Return of about 36 yard lines for Homestead, and Homestead will start out the 36-yard line.
I think that might be Gage Sparrow's first return on the year, and if it is, that's a great return for him, getting Homestead out to the 36. So great start for Homestead, getting some really good field positioning.
Yeah, the Spartans. Nice field position after the good return by Gage Sparrow, the receiver. Two receivers out right, one out left. And Carroll, it appears, jumped.
Yeah. Looks like a encroachment there on Carroll.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty. Try first down again for Homestead. 14-7 they trail. Once again, this is the most they've trailed all season by 7 points.
I think that's amazing. You play 6 games and the most you've been down by is 7. That proves a lot about this Homestead team.
In their loss, they only trailed by 4, which was the final score. They lost by 4. So, yeah, Homestead used to leading. Ormsby throws the right side. That's complete. Chambers across the 50. First down.
Jared Kistler in there on that catch. Evan Ormsby, good pass, picking up the first down. And like you said, only being down by 7 points, that just means that Homestead not only is never down by a whole lot, but whenever they are down, it's within reach.
Yeah, so that, like you said, Jared Kistler with the catch. He had 7 catches for 70 yards last week. Very effective in those short receptions against Northside. 1st and 10 for the Homestead offense. On the 49-yard line. Back to throw is Ormsby. Has Anderson, that's complete. Across the 40, drags a defender with him. Still going and finally brought down. Cade Dinan couldn't bring him down. Eventually, Craig McGinnis had to provide some help as Homestead another first down.
Good pass there from Evan Ormsby to Nate Anderson. Picking up a first down. Homestead's got it moving right now on offense, and they look good.
This is Homestead's 3rd possession of the game. First one ended in an interception. Last was in a Nate Anderson 29-yard reception for touchdown. Penalty thrown. Homestead cheering. Going against the Chargers, likely.
Yeah, looks like another encroachment call on Carroll there. So Carroll's kind of digging themselves a hole when they do that, giving Homestead a 1st and short instead of having to go the full 10 yards.
1st and 5 now. 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. 14-7. Homestead down. Spartans looking for some more points to tie the game up. Receiver either side. Kistler out right. Anderson left. Back to throw is Ormsby. Has a man. Kistler. End zone. Touchdown. Homestead. Jared Kistler from 27 yards away.
Looks like the identical play that they ran with Nate Anderson, but now it's Jared Kistler. Looks like the same route there. Evan Ormsby, great pass. Touchdown for Homestead. Homestead with another answer. When Carroll scores, Homestead has the answer. I think we're in for a shootout tonight. With the way this game's going, it could go back and forth all night.
Jared Kistler, the 27-yard touchdown reception from Evan Ormsby. So Ormsby, in the past 3 games, now up to 12, I believe, passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Dugan the PAT to tie it up for Homestead. PAT is good. Joe Dugan ties it at 14. So just like that, Homestead able to march down the field thanks to a few Carroll penalties and score.
Yeah, it's like the same thing that happened the first drive. Carroll took a penalty. After the penalty, Homestead scored, and this time Carroll takes a penalty and Homestead scores right after.
As we're getting close to the end of the first quarter, tied at 14. Still 30 seconds left, and with Carroll's offense, they could go down the field easily in that time.
Yeah, right. Maybe, 1 or 2 plays here for Carroll, but Carroll can turn 1 or 2 plays into a touchdown. They've done it several times this year, so look for them to not stop.
Yeah, series history, not the greatest if you're a Carroll fan. Homestead leads 35-12 all time. Currently on a 6-game winning streak, but the Chargers, one of their best teams in recent years, 5-1. One of the preseason SAC favorites, and them and Homestead the favorites to win the sectional right now.
Yeah, definitely. That could come down to a Homestead-Carroll sectional championship. How great of a game would that be? 2 rivals going at it for a sectional championship.
Yeah, this is one matchup where the SAC title on the line somewhat, and in the postseason could be a sectional championship just like last year, but still plenty of time left in this matchup and in the weeks to come. Dixon to kick off. That's Steely at the 8-yard line. Now across the 20-yard line, 25. Spins around a defender. A couple flags thrown. Eventually brought out of bounds by Kyle Detweiler.
Looked like Carter Kubin there, Austin Keyser, Cole Etchison, and like you said, Kyle Detweiler in there too.
So a lot of penalties early on in this first quarter.
Flag thrown there by the near side ref that was standing right next to the play.
Face mask called on the Spartans.
So face mask against Homestead. And those are the penalties you really can't afford. If you want to win this game, we've seen Carroll commit a few sloppy penalties as well.
Yeah, tough break there for Homestead, taking a 15-yard penalty. Ref was sitting right there. I mean, he saw it point blank, so tough break there for Homestead, taking a penalty like that early.
22 seconds before the end of the first quarter. We'll see what Carroll can do in that time. 1st and 10 from their own 42. 5 receiver set for the Chargers. Becker has a man complete. That's a first down and more. Bowden Height to the 40. 16 seconds to go.
Ryan Burton in there on the tackle. He's trying to, boost it up. Ryan Burton definitely a key aspect to the Homestead defense. Great player there.
Carroll, the hurry-up offense. 10 seconds to go. Run another play. Lays off up the middle. Still on his feet. And gain of about 6.
With that run, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
After that, the game is tied at 14 between Homestead and Carroll. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and be right back after this.
DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. Carroll ball, 2nd and 4 from Homestead's 34-yard line. Becker rolls out to the right side. Can't find his man who dove. Is that Coverstone? Believe intended for.
Becker looking to complete a pass there to Coverstone. Burton covering Coverstone right now, so Ryan Burton also safety there, so he's got some coverage too in there.
Carroll with their 4th possession of the game. First one was a Becker interception. Last 2 are touchdowns. Becker run and a Becker throw. 14. Tied right now between these teams. Becker hands it off to Lazoff up the middle. He's thrown forward, close to the first down marker.
Etchison with the initial hit right there. It looks like off the line of scrimmage. Cole Etchison got in there for the tackle and hit him. Brings up 4th and 1 here. You really got to assume Carroll goes for it.
You would think so. Just saw him change their personnel. Maybe a goal line formation similar to that. Quarterback sneak potential. 4th and 1. Big play for the Carroll offense. And Becker is easily able to get that short 1 yard and 4th down and get the first down.
Yeah, when you got, a 4th and short like that, you don't want to overcomplicate anything, and Carroll just keeps it with the simple, let Jeff Becker get the first down, and he did. Carroll's got it moving now, first down.
1st and 10 from Homestead's 27. 3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Back to throw is Becker for Carroll. Finds a man in the end zone. Jump ball. That's picked off.
Ryan Burton there with the interception for Homestead. Ryan Burton, big interception there for Homestead. So good for him getting an interception. He hasn't had one of those on the year yet, so Ryan Burton picking up an interception. Good for him.
Burton honored at senior night here at Homestead and makes the big play in the end zone. That was really a jump ball. Either player could have gotten it, but Burton from the defense able to pick it off. That's Becker's 2nd interception on the game, and something interesting that aside from Homestead and Dwenger, Becker has not thrown a pick, but against Homestead and Dwenger, he's now up to 5 total interceptions this season.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit right now, 2 interceptions, so he'll look to clean that up, I'm sure.
Carroll has 4 possessions, 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns. Homestead now with their 4th possession of the game. 11 minutes to go. Tied at 14. 1st and 10 from the 20. Play action. Has Anderson open deep. It's caught. Nate Anderson still on his feet across the 30, 20. Walks into the end zone. Nate Anderson, an 80-yard touchdown reception.
Big gain there for Homestead, picking up a touchdown. Nate Anderson, his 2nd of the game. Evan Ormsby with a great toss to Nate Anderson. That was a beautiful pass laid in there by Evan Ormsby. Homestead now up 20-14. Great response. They got the interception. They got the touchdown. Great job there for Homestead.
So Nate Anderson now with 2 receiving touchdowns on the game, one from 29 yards and that one from 80. Dugan the PAT for Homestead to put them up 21-14. Kick is up. And good. Special teams very important. 21-14 now Homestead leads.
Yeah, Homestead up 21-14. Got the interception. That was a big interception there by Ryan Burton, getting the Homestead offense back out there. So good for Ryan getting an interception, and then Homestead comes back out on the offense side of the ball. Took 1 pass, Evan Ormsby to Nate Anderson, touchdown, Homestead up by 7.
Ormsby with 3 passing touchdowns so far in this game. He's really playing great these past few weeks, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely has been. Most improved player, I would say, in the area. I think I've seen a lot of people saying that too. Most improved player, he's definitely turned it up, and he's doing it at the right time. Big game, and he's stepping up.
Yeah, but week 2 against Concordia, he had 1 passing touchdown and 4 interceptions, and he turned it over today. Yeah, 1 fumble. So he's really stepped up his play as of recent.
Yeah, Evan Ormsby, he finally got his groove. I talked to him in the interview this week, and he said it was just about getting more comfortable. And now he's more comfortable. You can see that. He's not afraid to throw the long ball. Nate Anderson with the catch there. So him and Nate Anderson, they got a real good pass and catch going.
Three back to return for Carroll. This will be their 5th possession. 2 Becker interceptions and 2 touchdowns. 10:48, Homestead leads 21-14, kicking off to Carroll. To the far side. Return across the 20 to about the 25-yard line is where Carroll will start.
Yeah, Carroll starts right up out there, 24-yard line, 25-yard line. So Carroll's got decent field position, not the best. Homestead's defense going to look to come back out, maybe force another turnover if they can. That'd be huge.
The Homestead defense has to be happy with how they've played. 2 interceptions on Becker already.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Burton got the last one. Isaac Barkus got the first one. So some Homestead defenders that maybe haven't been getting the big looks are stepping up, as in Ryan Burton and Isaac Barkus.
1st and 10 from the 25. Carroll with the ball, down by 7 now. Becker hands it off up the middle. That's lays off. Gain of maybe 6 on 1st and 10.
Looks like the whole Homestead defense went in there for a tackle there. Brings up 2nd and 4 maybe for Carroll. So 2nd and 1 there for Carroll. So, not too far of a 2nd down here for Carroll.
Shorter than we initially thought. The push got him there. 1 yard needed for the 1st down. Becker keeps it himself, runs to the right side, gets the 1st down, and runs out of bounds around the 39-yard line. Gain of about 5 for Jeff Becker, the quarterback.
It seems like on the 2nd and short, and when they had the 4th and short, they do look for Jeff Becker to be able to pick those up, and he's been able to. That's his 2nd short pickup there for Carroll, getting another 1st down.
Becker over 250 rush yards coming into this game, so also a great runner. Only a great thrower. 1st and 10 from the 39. Becker hands it off to Lazoff. He's swarmed and thrown to the ground by Homestead. Kriener, Barkus, and Wagner in with the tackle for Homestead.
Isaac Barkus got in there on that tackle, able to wrap him up. That's got the Homestead defense fired up now. Now they got to stop. 2nd and long here for Carroll.
2nd and 9 from their own 40. Carroll down by 7, 9:40 to go before halftime. Becker takes the snap, throws across the right side, has a defender. It's complete as Homestead. That was Englert. Finally brought down.
Englert able to get the catch there, had to jump up for it. Jeff Becker, nice pass there to Mason Englert, a little high, but still able to get it. 3rd and short here for Carroll. Look for Jeff Becker to maybe run it again.
Gain of 7 by Mason Englert with the reception. 3rd and 2 for Carroll, 9:30 to go. Becker hands it off to Lazoff, has room, gets the 1st down, across the 45 to about the 41-yard line.
Lazoff quick off the jump there, able to get a run. He's got some speed, too, so he was able to just boost past there the Homestead defense. So good run for him. 1st down. Carroll keeps the drive going.
Barkus with the tackle on the last play. Now 1st and 10 for Carroll. Becker to throw. Looks deep. Over the hands of Mason Englert. Incomplete.
Becker's pass incomplete, intended for Englert.
Becker going for Englert there long. Had him open, but pass thrown a little too far there, just out of Englert's reach. If Englert catch that, that's a big gain there for Carroll, if not a touchdown.
2nd and 10 now for Carroll on Homestead's 42-yard line. Chargers looking to respond to that last Homestead touchdown. Becker keeps it himself, runs to the right side of the field, has room. Finally tackled close to the 1st down marker. It's a gain of about 10.
Cole Etchison in there on that tackle for Homestead on Jeff Becker. Brings up 3rd and short for Carroll. I mean, I don't really know the stat there for Carroll on what their percentage is on 3rd and 4th down, but I think it's a high number. They're doing really well on 3rd downs tonight.
So they mark them 2 yards shy of the 1st down. 3rd and 2. Becker, handoff to Lazoff, close to the 1st down marker, and really a fight from both sides.
Looks like the ref marked him maybe an inch short there. So from where he's standing, it looks like a 4th down and 1 for Carroll. Got to go for it here if you're Carroll.
You certainly think so.
No question.
Maybe another Becker quarterback sneak. 4th and 1. That's Becker, the keeper.
The ref that marked it standing, a yard in front of the first down. Carroll picks up the first down. Looks like the Homestead coaches are not too happy with that spot, but first down for Carroll.
That was close. But Carroll able to get the first down. Handoff to Lazoff. Up the middle. First down and more.
Lazoff with the carry.
And Homestead's really lucky there wasn't a penalty flag on that play as Cronenwet was trying to run off the field. And I don't even think he was off the field before the ball was snapped.
Oh, definitely not. Becker snapped that ball quick, and they're doing it again now.
Pitch to Lazoff on the right side. Brought down by Kriener. Gain of only about 5.
Yeah, Kriener in there on that tackle. So good stop for him. 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 here for Carroll. So they're knocking on the door for sure.
Close to the end zone once again is Carroll. Down 21-14, 7:20 to go before halftime. 2nd and 8 from Homestead's 13. Becker to throw. Across the center as a man. And complete touchdown. Coverstone, the 13-yard receiving touchdown for Carroll.
Coverstone's 2nd touchdown of the night. Him and Jeff Becker seem to be on the same page. Coverstone with a good catch there over the center of the touchdown. Barkus just a little late getting in there. Carroll's back up looking to tie this game.
Lopez for the PAT to tie it. Carroll able to respond. This one's becoming a shootout. 21-20. Make that 21-21 with a made PAT. Tied at 21 between Homestead and Carroll. Close one so far, back and forth.
Yeah, after Homestead scored, I said it looks like it's going to be a shootout, and it appears to be that way. Coverstone has 2 touchdowns on the night, so that brings him to 7 total receiving touchdowns on the year. So he's having a good season, especially with Mason Englert playing for Carroll too. So he's getting himself in there and getting himself involved.
Becker has 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, and 1 rushing. Now tied at 21-7-13. Homestead's offense very explosive so far in this game. Last possession, Evan Ormsby found Nate Anderson from 80 yards away for the touchdown.
Carroll has scored 3 times. Homestead's had an answer every time. So we'll see if they can't have an answer here like they've had before.
Anderson far side to return for Homestead. Kickoff. That's Keyser with the return across the 25 and finally brought down
Keyser on the return.
Around the 26 for Homestead.
Spartans will start first down at 10.
Homestead starts on the 26. Look for them to do what they did last time Carroll scored. Maybe come out and try and get the ball going through the air and have an answer.
Homestead's offense out on the field again. 21-21, 7:06 to go after the Carroll touchdown. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Hardwick in the backfield alongside Ormsby. Chambers, tight end. The left side. Handoff to Hardwick. Gets around a defender. First down across the 40. And across midfield.
Hardwick rushes to the left side.
Telling you what, when Braden Hardwick gets going, he's hard to stop. He got it going there, able to pick up a big gain. So good for Hardwick getting in there, and he's having a good night so far.
Ball at midfield, 1st and 10 for Homestead. After the big run from Braden Hardwick, that's what he needed. He's been struggling in the recent games. 1st and 10. And off to Hardwick. Again, around the defense, first down and more across the 30. Still on his feet, evades a few tackles and finally brought down. The Charger defense couldn't bring him down. 25-yard gain for Braden Hardwick on the rush.
Like you said, Hardwick, hasn't been doing the best in the past games. Now he's stepping up. That's 2 big runs in a row for Braden Hardwick. He's getting it going at the right time, too.
Yeah, we didn't even know if he'd be able to play tonight due to the injury from last week. But, yeah, looking good so far. Tied at 21, Homestead ball on Carroll's 25, 1st and 10, 6:17. Officials blow the whistles. Official timeout. As Homestead looking pretty good on offense in both the passing and running game so far.
Like you said, we didn't even know if Braden Hardwick was going to be able to play tonight, and it's a good thing he is. He's doing great. He's stepping up big tonight.
1st and 10 from Carroll's 25. Homestead and Carroll tied at 21. Spartans ball. Ormsby hand off to Hardwick once again. It's a big gain, maybe 8 or 9 yards on 1st and 10. Bring up 2nd and a couple of yards.
Yeah, Homestead not afraid to feed the ball to Hardwick. Back-to-back runs there for Hardwick. He's keeping it going. Positive yards again. Brings up a 2nd and short here for Homestead.
Steely with the tackle on the last play. 2nd and 2 for Homestead. Tied at 21, 5:35 before halftime. Ormsby still with it. It's close to the end zone. Evan Ormsby. Touchdown. Ormsby, the 17-yard rush for Homestead.
What a touchdown there for Evan Ormsby. It looks like he juked one defender and then ran another one over and then gets in for the touchdown. Evan Ormsby not afraid to run the ball. He proves it right there. Touchdown Homestead. Homestead back up on top. Shootout coming tonight between these two teams. Great night of football if you like some offense.
27-21 Homestead on top right now. Dugan another PAT.
Joe Dugan in to attempt the PAT.
After the 17-yard Evan Ormsby rush for Homestead. Puts him up by 6. This will put him up 7. The PAT for Dugan. That's up. And good, 28-21, Homestead on top.
Homestead up 28-21. This is a shootout right now, and in these kind of games, it's going to come down to a play late by the defense to step up. So we'll look to see what defense steps up later in the game. But both offenses are rolling. They both got a lot of good drives going. So these two teams are showing out on offense.
After the first drive interception, Evan Ormsby has thrown a 29-yard pass touchdown to Nate Anderson, a 27-yard pass touchdown to Jared Kistler, an 80-yard pass touchdown to Nate Anderson, and just ran for a 17-yard rush touchdown.
Evan Ormsby is having a great night so far. Not only throwing touchdowns, he's able to run one in. This Homestead offense, they're dual threat as well with their quarterback. He's not afraid to run the ball. So Jeff Becker is a dual threat quarterback. Evan Ormsby is a dual threat quarterback. He just proved that right now.
Exciting game here at Homestead High School. Getting colder and colder as the game continues.
Yeah, Matt's got an open window right there, my window in front of me, so it's not as cold on this side.
And not too bad of a breeze, but thankfully we're inside. Carroll to receive the kickoff. Dixon kicks off from the 40. That's going to be a touchback. Returner doesn't even try to return it for Carroll.
Carroll's going to look to come out here and have an answer. They don't like being down by 7. They want to have this game tied. So we'll see what Carroll can come out here and do.
We talked about Homestead trailing. Carroll also hasn't trailed by much. Aside from that Dwanger game, I haven't checked, but probably haven't trailed much at all this season.
No, I wouldn't say they've trailed more than what they trailed in that Dwanger game either. I mean, they probably haven't been down in many games either this year. They've seemed to run the table with every team.
Yeah, blowout wins pretty much every week, aside from Dwanger. 10-point loss a couple weeks ago. 1st and 10 for Carroll. And off to Lazoff along the left side. He's brought down. Luke Palmer with the tackle after a gain of couple.
Luke Palmer in there on the tackle. Carroll trying to establish a running game again, but big stop there by Luke Palmer.
2nd and 7 for Carroll coming up on their own 23.
Looked like Ryan Burton was in there on that tackle too with Palmer.
5 minutes For halftime, Becker rolls out right, throws right side. Englert, it's caught, tiptoeing the sideline. First down for Carroll.
Englert with a great catch there, keeping a foot in bounds. Jeff Becker finding him. They got the momentum going now, first down.
Chargers hurry up offense, 5 receiver set, no running backs. Becker the QB. Flag is thrown. Chargers going really quickly on offense. But a false start that can cost you when you try to go too quickly on the offensive end.
Yeah, maybe going a little too quickly there for the offensive line, trying to jump to it. But I like the hurry-up offense. I don't mind seeing that. I think Carroll's quick enough to have a hurry-up offense.
And it certainly has worked. Another 5 receiver set. The running backs, 1st and 15 from the 27. Back to throw is Becker. Deflected. Intended for Hedgecock, I believe, but Height nearly had a catch, but couldn't hold on to it. Incomplete.
Kriener in there, able to break that pass up, so good for Kriener getting his hand in there, able to make him drop the pass there.
2nd and 15. Homestead defense, a few stops would be huge here. Up by 7. 28-21, Homestead leads, 4:50 to go before halftime. Carroll, 2nd and 15 from their own 27. Back to throw is Becker. Plenty of time. Is chased. Flag thrown. Finally brought down, but we'll see what the flag is.
Luke Palmer in there on the sack. A holding call on Carroll is what the ref signaled there. So good sack there by Luke Palmer and a holding call on Carroll.
So hold on, Carroll. The penalty
It's a big play, big sack. Isaac Parrish and Andrew Bear also were chasing Becker, but like you said, Palmer, eventually the sack.
It's a 12-yard loss on the
12-yard loss. So this is really a huge play right here for Homestead. If they can make a stop,
3rd down,
in a great position. Carroll not good field position right now. 3rd and 28 from their own 14. But Jeff Becker can do Jeff Becker things, and we'll see he's able to make a big throw. Get the first down. 28 yards away from the first down. Becker back to throw. Plenty of time. Is chased. Still on his feet. Becker still has it. Rolls out right. Throws it right. It's complete to Coverstone. Pushed out of bounds near the initial line of scrimmage, but about 10 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, 10 yards shy there of the first down. Great throw there by Jeff Becker, able to avoid, a sack there. Trey Kriener in there with the push out of bounds, brings up a tough drive there for Carroll, having to punt. Now you look at it, Homestead gets the ball after half. They got 4 minutes to work with, maybe get some more points and then get the ball after half. I think that's the ideal situation for Homestead.
Yeah, if you're the Spartans, you take your time on this possession. You don't want Carroll to have the ball. With how great they are at moving the ball down the field. Punt is away. Chambers back to return, but doesn't go near it. And it rolls inside the 20.
Yeah, Homestead going to start here on the 19-yard line, so not the best field positioning here for Homestead.
And Homestead gets the ball the start of the second half. So, yeah, you just run the clock down here, and it would be a great situation for the Spartans. Up by 7 right now, 4:02 to go before halftime.
Yeah, the ideal situation. Take some time off the clock, not give Carroll a lot of time, but still manage to put some points up on the board and then go into halftime and get the ball after half.
By the way, that was Englert with the punt. The star receiver, also a good punter. Pins Homestead inside the 20 at their own 19. 1st and 10. 2 receivers either side. Hardwick, the running back. Ormsby takes the snap, play action, looks deep, has Anderson over his head, incomplete. May have been some contact, but was over his head.
2nd down and 10.
Yeah, looked like a bit of contact there, but not a lot, so I don't mind the no call there by the refs. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Homestead. Looks like maybe they got a little leg lock there, but 2nd down here for Homestead.
The Spartans maybe run a few plays and run the clock down. 3:55 to go before halftime. 2nd and 10 from their own 19.
Tough second down here for Homestead, having to pick up, 10 yards.
Homestead with their 6th possession of the game. Ormsby runs it himself, gets flipped over. Gain of maybe 7?
Yeah, looks like a gain of 7 there for Evan Ormsby. He's not afraid to take a hit. He likes taking hits like that. Brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 2 here for Homestead. Key play here for Homestead, though.
Jorge Valdez in on the tackle for Carroll. As Palmer runs in. Sparrow goes to the sideline for Homestead. 3rd and 2. Big play here. Can Homestead keep the chains moving, or can Carroll make a stop and force Homestead to punt?
Put Palmer in there at the H-back, maybe looking to run the ball to the left side here if you're Homestead.
Ormsby fakes the pitch, but runs for a couple. We'll see where they mark it. One official says is enough.
With the keeper, brought down right
Yard short.
near the first down yardage marker.
Another official pointing like it's enough.
The head ref says first down, Homestead. That's what it appears.
First down for the Spartans.
Big pickup for Homestead. Another first down. Barely got it.
Yeah.
But keeps the clock running. 2:50 now.
Homestead really can't take their, too much time off the clock. They still got to get down the field.
Hand off to Hardwick. Has room. Still on his feet. Across the 50. Braden Hardwick 40, 30, 20, 10, and touchdown. Braden Hardwick. The rush touchdown for Homestead.
What a run there for Braden Hardwick, getting the confidence boosted. Big run for Braden Hardwick. He's having a great game for Homestead.
71-yard rush by Braden Hardwick. Looking pretty good after struggling the past few weeks. A big play. Homestead up 34-21 now.
Great executed run there for Braden Hardwick. Able to get it going. He's had, like you said, a rough start to the year. Able to pick it up. Homestead offense looks great.
This could be similar to the Northside Carroll game, where Carroll put up 76 points earlier on in the season. PAT, always important. Good by Joe Dugan, 35-21. And if you're Carroll now, you need to score a touchdown here with Homestead getting the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, you don't want to make any costly mistakes either. You don't want to give the ball back to Homestead. You just want to put a drive together and score some points.
In both these teams, Homestead and Carroll in the same sectional. So potential postseason preview. Also in their sectional is Warsaw, who's at Wawasee. Warsaw 5-1 in the season, and Snyder 3-3 against those big, bad brown Bruins. If you heard the pregame show, you'll understand that. Snyder 3-3 on the season, struggling a bit, but have come around as of recently. So a tough sectional this year, really.
Yeah, in that sectional, you can't count out a Warsaw team. They beat the #1 defense in the state. I mean, Warsaw might be the dark horse, in that sectional. You can't count them out, and Snyder's Snyder, so they always improve come playoff time.
And I think a lot of it is going to depend on the draw. Who goes where?
Yeah, that's always a big thing.
That's not for a little while, though, but week 7, rivalry week in the SAC. So far for Homestead, nothing to be upset about, up by 14, 35-21, 2:30 left before half. Carroll to receive the kickoff. Receiver returns it along the right side, still on his feet, eventually brought down. That was Steely with the return for Carroll.
Carroll has done a great job this season in returns. They had a big one against Dwenger to start off the game. It was like 45 yards. So Carroll does a great job of getting some good field positioning off kick returns.
1st and 10 for Jeff Becker in the Carroll offense. And we knew about Mason Englert, the top receiver, but Becker's really spread the ball around evenly, it feels like, tonight.
Yeah, Coverstone's getting in there himself with 2 touchdowns, so he's spreading the ball out just like Evan Ormsby does.
1st and 10 from the 25. Hand off to Lazoff. It's met near the line of scrimmage.
Lays off on the carry.
Tackled behind the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark it.
Second down.
Give him a gain of a couple. We second and about 8 for Carroll.
Look for maybe Carroll's going to throw here.
It's incomplete. Good defense.
Becker's pass.
Desmond Smith over there.
Yeah, the far side.
That's actually really good there. Getting the stop, getting the play clock stopped too. You know, maybe Carroll doesn't get it here. Homestead could get something going on offense again.
Very important third down for Carroll. 2 minutes left. Becker bobbles the snap. As a man, that's height. That's good enough for a first down. Goes around 2 defenders and brought down. That was Burton and Barkus that Height was able to get around. The big gain on 3rd and 7 for Carroll.
Aaron Wagner comes up with the tackle there. So good to see Aaron in there getting a tackle for himself. But a good pickup there for Carroll.
Chargers moving. 1:49 left. 1st and 10 from Homestead's 38. Back to snap. Becker rolls out to the right side. Still on his feet. Eventually pushed out of bounds by Smith. Gain of maybe 7 yards. Now 2nd and 3 for Carroll.
Looked like a potential holding call in the backfield that could have been called, but refs don't call it. Brings up a short 2nd down here for Carroll.
1:37 before halftime. Becker keeps it himself again. Gets the first down across the 25-yard line.
He'll gain 6 on the play. First down.
First down.
Jeff Becker able to pick himself up a first down. That's, I think, one of several he's had tonight picking it up himself. So he's definitely not afraid to run the ball.
1:31 before halftime. Homestead up 14. Carroll driving. Becker back to throw. Plenty of time. That's dropped. Cooper Rudolph, I believe the intended target, had it in his hands and dropped it.
That's a tough break there for Carroll, dropping a pass like that. You had it going, and then a drop pass kind of stops it. Close to a first down, too, if he'd have caught that one.
Rudolph, only a sophomore for the Charger receiving group. Carroll down 14. On 2nd and 10, Becker to throw. He's chased, decides to run it, gets plenty of yardage, and eventually stumbles forward.
Looked like Palmer came up from behind him, able to get him tripped up there. Maybe Aaron Wagner in there able to trip him up too. But Jeff Becker is a very good runner. Even, he doesn't have to throw the ball all the time. He's able to run it himself.
(35-21). Becker rolls out right side. Throws deep, end zone.
Becker's pass is incomplete.
Greener in there on the hit on Becker, and then Burton over there on the coverage, able to make Jeff Becker throw a tough pass. So that's real good coverage there by Ryan Burton, forcing the wide receiver out, and then Becker throws the ball too far out there.
If you're Carroll, you really need a touchdown here, with Homestead receiving the ball to start the second half. Down by 14 right now is Carroll.
Yeah, Carroll's going to go for the touchdown here.
53.5 seconds left. Chargers change the formation. On 2nd and 10, Becker. It's hit hard, has a man that's caught. That's lays off the running back. Touchdown. 15 yards, Carroll touchdown.
Lays off able to pick up a touchdown there for Carroll. Just ran a simple route there, able to cut it upfield, and then a little confusion maybe on the Homestead defensive side, but touchdown there for Carroll, able to pick it up right before half.
That's exactly what the Chargers needed, with the PAT still coming by Lopez. Charger fans a little bit more comfortable with that, only down by, 7 if he makes this. And he does instead of a couple touchdowns.
35-28. This seems just like a final score of a football game, not a score right before halftime. Both teams are firing on offense.
And right now, we see a harvest moon. Bit of an orangish color.
Yes, it looks very cool from where we are sitting.
I think that would be kind of hard to harvest the moon pretty far away from the Earth.
Oh, I agree.
35-28. Homestead leads as Carroll able to score a touchdown. And I'm not sure if Homestead's going to try anything here. I mean, they have the firepower in offense, but we'll see.
I think with them getting the ball after half, they might try and run something simple, but I don't look for them to do anything crazy here.
Carroll with 6 first-half possessions, 4 touchdowns, and 2 turnovers, both Becker interceptions. In the category of turnovers and Homestead, they have had 5 touchdowns in the first half and 1 Ormsby interception in the first drive of the game. Carroll to kick off to Homestead.
Homestead going to sub Jared Kistler out there on the kickoff.
Homestead up 7, 46.8 left. As Barkus runs onto the field now for Homestead. "46 seconds left before halftime. Carroll to kick off. It's a squib one. Picked up about the 20-yard line. Chambers picks it up, gets up to the 30 about, and Homestead has 42 seconds left. First and 10.
Yeah, going to be interesting here to see what Homestead decides to do. Not too sure what they're going to do, if they're going to just not, try and score, or if they're just going to let it go to the half. Looks like they're going to run a play here.
I mean, why not? We saw an 80-yard touchdown earlier this game. Passing touchdown. Ormsby to Anderson. First and 10 from the 30. And off to Hardwick up the middle. He's brought down at about the 39 or 34-yard line. Gain of a couple.
Second down and 5.
Yeah.
Timeout, Homestead.
Timeout is called by the Homestead Spartans. And Chris, so far it's really been a shootout. Homestead 5 touchdowns, Carroll 4 touchdowns. If the offense continues like this, this game could set maybe some records.
Yeah, I mean, if you like offense, this is the game. Homestead's offense looks great. The Carroll offense looks great, so this is definitely a show out of both offenses.
Yeah, in that Concordia game, if you're a defensive type of guy, that was maybe your game. But if you're an offensive type of guy, this is really your game.
Yeah, definitely. You like offense, here's your game for you. Big shootout going on here at Homestead.
We'll see what the Spartans do. 30 seconds left. Up by 7. They do get the ball to start the third quarter. As we approach halftime between these two rivals. Carroll's now won at Homestead since 2014.
That was back when the Tranquil brothers were running the show at Carroll. Now Drew Tranquil's in the NFL. So those were 2 dominant forces back then.
2 receivers either side. Kistler and Sparrow near side. Chambers and Anderson the far side. Hardwick the running back. Ormsby the quarterback for Homestead. 2nd and 5. Back to throws Ormsby. As time. Finds Kistler. Caught at the 35 across the 40. Now to the 50. Across the 45. And Kistler goes out of bounds near the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, look for Homestead. If they can't get in the end zone, maybe look for a long field goal here. Just try and get some points if they can before half.
And we've seen the leg of Carter Dixon. He knocked down a long field goal earlier on in the season.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they have to go to him for a kick.
35-28, Homestead on top. Timeout called by the Spartans. Getting closer, well, at least advancing down the field. Not exactly close to the end zone, but a couple more big gains and a chance maybe at a long field goal.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the play here for Homestead. They're comfortable in kicking the long field goal. I know Carter Dixon's more than capable of kicking a long field goal. So we'll see if they send him out there at some point. He's over there warming up right now, actually.
21 seconds left in the first half. 35-28, Homestead leads. It's been back and forth the entire way.
It's going to be one of those games where I think it comes down to what defense makes a stop near the end.
Homestead set to go out of the timeout. 1st and 10. Now they look to the sideline. 2 receivers either side. Kistler and Sparrow near side. Chambers, Anderson far side. Harvick the running back. And officials blow the whistles again.
Equipment timeout.
Equipment timeout. Now we're good to go. Homestead up 7, looking for more to end the first half. Back to throws Ormsby. Across the right side. Kistler caught out of bounds. Getting closer to field goal range. 17 seconds, clock is stopped.
You know, whenever we walk into Homestead before the game, Carter Dixon's always out there kicking from the 50. And last week when we walked in, he made it with like 5 extra yards on it. So I'm sure they feel comfortable in sending him out there for a kick.
17 seconds left. 2nd and 3 for Homestead at the Carroll 34. Back to throw. Ormsby looks deep. Finds Kistler right side. Some contact, but incomplete. 3rd and 3 now. 11.2 seconds left.
Yeah, Jared Kistler trying to reach over and get the catch, but couldn't manage to get it. Now Homestead's faced with the 3rd down here.
11 seconds left. We'll see what the Spartans elect to do. Maybe take one more deep shot at least. 3rd and 3 for Homestead at Carroll's 34. Spartans look to the sideline now for the play. Homestead up 35-28. Almost halftime. Back to throw is Ormsby. Complete to Chambers. Still in bounds, gets the 1st down. Clock ticking down, stops at 4 seconds. Timeout called by Homestead.
4 seconds left.
4 seconds to go before half. And Carter Dixon warming up. He's ready for the field goal, and we'll see. He's able to knock it through.
Yeah, Carter, this is his longest attempt on the year, so we'll see if he can get it.
47-yard attempt for Carter Dixon. Made a 33-yarder earlier this season. But this is just the 2nd field goal attempt so far.
Right, I don't mind this call. I mean, 3 points is better than walking away with no points if you can get the field goal. So a 38-28 halftime score is better than a 35-28 halftime score.
Even if Homestead misses, I mean, the clock is probably going to run out, so no real negative of going for it. I guess it's all about the snap, though. Dixon to attempt the 47-yard field goal at the 30-yard line. 4 seconds left. Homestead up 35-28 before halftime. Timeout called by Carroll, maybe to ice Dixon a bit.
The whole ice the kicker, little trying to get in the kicker's head. You see that a lot, so Carter's just got to stay focused.
It's the mental game right now. It's funny how sports works like that. Calling a timeout truly can affect the kickers. Proven. And we'll see if Dixon's able to get close. Doesn't really get a whole lot of field goal attempts during actual games. We talked about him when he's warming up before the games, but has only attempted 1 field goal so far this season, and not the PAT kicker, that's Joe Dugan. So in terms of kicking, aside from kickoffs and punts, this is a rare attempt for Carter Dixon from 47.
Yeah.
Four seconds left.
Carroll.
And Carroll, another timeout.
They're going to look to ice the kicker with everything they got. They got one more timeout. I'm sure they'll come out and use it again.
The last minute or so of game time in the 2nd quarter is taking a little while. Couple timeouts.
They still got one more, so I'm sure they'll use it.
I mean, why not, right? Why not call a timeout since you have it?
Yeah, exactly. If you got it, use it.
So we'll see. Maybe they won't call it as Dixon might expect they are. Some form of reverse psychology, possibly.
Oh, now they're going to get real smart.
Dixon to attempt the field goal. And just kidding, actually not yet. Another timeout by Carroll. They're getting pretty good at calling this timeout stuff.
Okay, now you know you're going to be able to kick it now. Carroll uses their full 3 timeouts.
If they come out of the timeout and Carroll calls another timeout, I'd be surprised because, like you said, they're out of timeouts.
We'll see. I think it's more of a mental game now. You hate to see it, a mental game, but we'll see what happens.
4 seconds left. Long 4 seconds, really.
Yes.
3 timeouts by Carroll. But, I mean, you can't fault them. That's the smart thing to do in the situation. Might as well use them while you can. Doesn't carry over, obviously, to the second half. Now Dixon's on for the field goal. 47 yards away. 4 seconds left in the first half. Homestead up by 7. 35-28. Kick is up. Dixon.
The kick is
no good.
We head to the half.
Is that
Homestead, 35,
little left?
28.
It was a little to the left there. He had the distance on it, but missed it to the left. Not a bad kick there for Carter Dixon, though.
Close, yeah, but just a little bit to the left. And Homestead leads Carroll 35-28 as we head into half. With a halftime show right after this.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located.
At Marco's.
And now, let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back to the halftime show. I'm Matt Saalfrank alongside Chris Kohrman. Currently at halftime between rivals Homestead and Carroll. Spartans leading 35-28 in what was quite the offensive performance really from both teams in that first half.
Oh, yeah, right. 35 points for Homestead, 28 for Carroll. Both teams look great on offense. Jeff Becker's having himself a game. Ormsby's having himself a game. And then you got Nate Anderson catching a couple touchdowns and Coverstone catching a couple touchdowns for Carroll. So both teams are playing great on offense.
Let's run through the scoring summary real quick. Ormsby found Nate Anderson from 29 yards away to tie the game at 7. Ormsby hit Jared Kistler from 27 yards away to tie the game at 14. Then Ormsby hit Anderson from 80 yards away to give the Spartans the lead. Another Ormsby, actually his first rushing touchdown from 17 yards away. Then Hardwick, a 71-yard rush touchdown. Then to end the first half, Dixon, a missed 47-yard field goal now for Carroll. Becker had a 1-yard rush touchdown. Becker had a 11-yard touchdown pass to Coverstone. He also had another pass touchdown to Coverstone. This one from 13 yards the second time, and lays off a 15-yard receiving touchdown. This one from Jeff Becker. So Jeff Becker has played well in this first half. As Homestead, they lead 35-28. A lot on the line in this game. I've seen some predictions that this could be about the final score, 35-28, and that's the halftime score right now.
Yeah, the statistician just came over here, showed me the stats. Hardwick's 100+, Anderson's 100+ receiving yards, and Evan Ormsby's 200+ passing yards. So Homestead's offense is showing out tonight.
Yeah, and we've seen a few turnovers, we've seen a few penalties. At least to the start, the game wasn't the cleanest, but towards the later stages of the first half, this pure football, and both teams really showing out on offense.
Yeah, the offenses are showing up. I look for the Homestead defense or the Carroll defense come out big here in the second half. Someone's got to come up with a stop to slow the offenses down.
Homestead up 35-28 over the Carroll Chargers. And Homestead on a 6-game winning streak against Carroll. They had 2 wins last season. In Week 7, they won 42-15. That one was on the road. Then they beat Carroll in the sectional championship 38-14 when Jake Archbold had that 4 touchdown performance, 4 defensive interceptions, and 4 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing, 1 receiving, and 1 interception return for a touchdown. So in recent years, Homestead has dominated Carroll, but it's a close one tonight.
Yeah, definitely. 7 points within reach for Carroll to come back in this game would not be hard. You come out, get a stop, get a touchdown, you're right back in this game, tie ball game.
We've seen how good the Carroll offense has been really all season. Once scoring 76 points in a single game. That was against Northside. Homestead put up their season high also against Northside last week with 56. And right now you will hear a fan favorite segment, Inside Homestead Athletics. Take it away, Joel and Noah. Enjoy.
It's halftime of tonight's football game, and now it's time for another episode of Inside Homestead Athletics. Each week, you'll get the news of Homestead High School athletics, as well as an in-depth look at players, coaches, and other personnel representing Homestead High School. And now, here's this week's Inside Homestead Athletics with your co-hosts, Joel McChesney and Noah Johansmeyer.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Inside Homestead Athletics, right here on the Point 91 FM. I'm your host, Joel McChesney. Hangsmeyer will join us later. In this episode, we will recap sports scores, player stats for all Homestead sports teams this week, starting with events from the past week. First up, tennis. The boys tennis team won the sectional matchup on Wednesday. Their next match is the regional matchup at Carroll on Tuesday. Now on to cross country. The boys and girls teams both competed at the New Haven Invitational, with both teams placing fourth. Freshman Addison Canablo placing second, junior Ethan Bates placing sixth. The boys will run at the Nike Valley Twilight Race tomorrow. Up next is volleyball. The volleyball team lost 3-2 against Carroll yesterday. They will compete in the Elkhart tournament tomorrow. The girls soccer team beat Bishop Dwenger. Their next game is tomorrow at Culver Academics. The boys soccer team lost 5-0 against Noblesville. Their next game will be the sectional matchup at New Haven. Finally, the girls golf team won their regional matchup on Saturday, with Maddie DeBeja and Simone Sink tying for medalist honors. They will play in the state competition on Saturday. Good luck to all Spartan athletes competing throughout this and next week. Now it's time for an interview where Noah Johansmeyer recently caught up with Taylor Archibald.
Thanks, Joel. For this week's interview, I am joined by Taylor Archibald from the girls soccer team. So Taylor, the team has had a great regular season so far. How do you plan on continuing that success in the postseason?
I think we just need to continue to play as a team and do well on defense and also do well with offense by finishing our shots. And I think that will help us go far in postseason.
Due to the world pandemic currently going on, fans are beginning to be allowed back into the stands. How has having limited and no fans in the stands throughout your season affected the atmosphere at your games?
Honestly, I feel like it hasn't affected us that much because not many fans come to soccer, but it is nice having a support system, and hearing them cheer you on during a game gives you a lot of encouragement to do better on the field.
Adding on to that, how has COVID-19 affected your practices this year?
In the summer, we had to social distance and try not to spread COVID, I guess, and now we're back to normal, and we just try to be careful, and most people are trying to do it online, so we don't have to quarantine, but so far it feels normal.
With being a leader and a captain on this team this year, do you feel any added pressure this year?
I don't really feel much pressure, but I just know that I need to be a vocal leader and just lead by example. So lower classmen and anyone can just look up to me, and I just try to be a good example towards everybody.
3 or 4 years playing, I'm sure you have lots of memories with the team. Can you pick a favorite memory you have with the team?
My favorite memory would probably be sophomore year when we went to state. We were runner-ups, but it was just a great experience and something that I'll remember forever.
Adding on to that last question of memories with the team, what does being able to play with your sister throughout your time here at Homestead mean to you?
It's awesome because I feel like we can read each other really well in the field, and we're always there for each other and supportive, and we can work hard together on and off the field. And it's something that I'm really going to miss next season.
You have had a great career at Homestead, and what do you think about the possibility of playing at the next level?
I'd really like to play at the next level. I'm not sure where yet, but I know that I just need to keep working harder, and if God has a plan for me to play college, then hopefully that will happen and that I'll be able to do well wherever I end up.
This is my last question for you, Taylor. How are you feeling about the postseason coming up very soon?
I think sectionals will be fine, and then regionals will be really hard playing the top teams in the state, but hopefully if we just play our game and play well, we can get through regionals and hopefully make it to state again this year.
Thank you for the interview, Taylor, and we will now send it back to Joel to close us out.
This has been another edition of Inside Homestead Athletics. I'm your host, Joel McChesney. On behalf of Noah Johanningsmeyer and myself, thank you for listening. Be sure to join us again next week at halftime of Friday night's football game against Wayne for another edition of Inside Homestead Athletics.
Marco's Pizza, located at 134
With a rebound, the clock hits 0. The Spartans are state champions.
Homestead will win the victory bell for the first time in school history.
Goody to the basket, goes up and throws it down. Boom shakalaka, pick another SAC Holiday Tournament crown.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School. Currently at halftime between Homestead and Carroll. And a busy halftime so far, as I now welcome Chris Kohrman back to the halftime show. Homestead up 35-28, and the second half is going to be really crazy.
The second half, if it's anything like the first half, it's going to be a crazy game. I think you got to look for a defense to come up and make a stop here, whether that's the Homestead defense or the Carroll defense. Someone's going to come up with a stop.
So we have official stats now from that first half. And like we said, not sure how accurate they are. They are on the spot, so it may not be exactly to the single yard. But what we have so far, Evan Ormsby, 8 of 14 passing, 213 yards. Nate Anderson, 3 catches for 126 yards. Jared Kistler, 4 catches for 68 yards. Ethan Chambers, 1 catch for 4 yards. Braden Hardwick, 8 rushes for 193 yards. I'm reading that and that doesn't seem right. 8 carries and 193 yards.
And that seems crazy, but I don't think it sounds, out of reason. 75-yard touchdown and then a couple long ones thrown in there. So that sounds about right to me. But Braden Hardwick's having a great night.
Then Jeff Becker, 15 of 27 passing for 189 yards. Bowden Height, 6 catches for 83 yards. Jamison Coverstone, 4 catches for 60 yards. Mason Engler, 2 catches for 12 yards. Becker, the leading rusher for Carroll, 12 carries for 95 yards. Now looking at some team stats, and I'm not sure if this is right. Carroll has 24 first downs and Homestead only has 11.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of, it sounds a little crazy with the scoreboard, but yeah, sounds about right.
Homestead 218 rushing yards, Carroll 166. And again, I'm not sure if this is right. Homestead averaging 15.6 yards per carry. That seems pretty crazy.
Per carry?
Yeah.
That does sound a little crazy, but I don't know. Hardwick has ran the ball far. I guess that 75-yard touchdown probably has a lot to do with that.
Yeah. 1 rush, 75 yards certainly makes the averages a little bit different. Total yards, Homestead 431, Carroll 355. Carroll 2 turnovers, Homestead only 1. Spartans 3 of 4 on third downs, Carroll 5 of 8. Carroll 2 of 2 on fourth down conversions. So Spartans up 35-28 right now.
It's going to be a very exciting half. I think the offense is going to come back out and show out again and have a great half for offense.
35-28 Homestead on top of halftime. When we come back, we're going to break down some of the other SAC scores on this Friday night, Week 7 rivalry week in the SAC. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin'.
McLaughlin the rebound. The clock hits 0. The Spartans are state champions.
Homestead will win the victory bell for the first time in school history.
Goody to the basket, goes up and throws it down. Boom shakalaka. Pick another SAC Holiday Tournament crown.
Stadium for more Homestead Spartan football right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School. Just got some score updates, some of them not the best for my predictions in the pregame show. First up, Wayne at Concordia. All these are in the second quarter, by the way, or halftime. Concordia up 20-8 over Wayne.
I like to see that. I like Concordia. They got a good team this year. Good to see them up and rolling. So I'll take that prediction as right as of right now for me.
Then Northside leading 28-6 against Southside in the second quarter. That's not really surprising.
Yeah, it looks like Northside's just doing what they normally do against Southside, be able to put up the points against Southside. Deuce Taylor's probably having himself a night, I'm sure.
Another game, Snyder 37, Northrop 0. I don't know if Northrop's ever going to win a game against the Panthers, especially this year with the Panthers being down in Northrop. Demarius Cowan, one of the best running backs in the area. It's just tough.
Yeah, if it was going to happen any year, I think it'd have been this year. Northrop's got a lot of talent on offense, like you said, but I guess Snyder's putting it together this week. Look for a well-improved Snyder team going into sectionals for sure this year.
Another score update as Northside just scored now 34-6 with the PAT pending against Southside. Then the final score, which I'm not too happy about because I picked Bishop Lures, but Bishop Dwanger winning 28-6 over their rival Lures.
Yeah, I'm going to put this out there. Braden, Carroll, and Matt ripped on me in the,
we didn't
preview
rip
the
on
SAC.
you. We just had differing picks.
They said, they keep telling me that Lures going to come out and win. I told you, Dwanger, they're a force to be reckoned with. Tough team. Dwanger's going strong right now, 28-6. Look for that to continue.
So those are some of the other area scores. I guess not really too surprising. Maybe the Snyder and Northrop game. I would say probably the only surprise. because Snyder's up 37-0. Have to check to see exactly how much time is left in that one. But if that's a halftime, then the second half will be played with a running clock, so pretty much no chance for Northrop to come back.
Yeah, no matter where it is, it's a running clock now. But, yeah, think about, that probably is the most, surprising game for a couple reasons. One, it's Snyder that's up. That could surprise a couple people. And then being up 37-0. That's definitely a big shocker, too, being up 37-0.
So, yeah, we talk about the sectional. Homestead, Carroll, Warsaw, they're pretty good. And I think a lot of people are counting out Snyder, but a blowout win against Wayne. I mean, given it is Wayne and they're towards the bottom of the conference, and just looking here, Snyder now up 44-0 against Northrop. So the Panthers, they must have found something since their matchup against Homestead a couple weeks ago, and they're looking much better now. And don't be surprised if they win a game and potentially the sectional championship should they get the right draw.
I bet number 91's got a couple touchdowns there for Snyder. I bet he's out there doing himself a great job, but great game for Snyder, 44 points.
Yeah, Northrop, nothing on the board quite yet. We'll still monitor those scores around the area. Now 35-6, Northside over Southside with the PAT. But this game, 35-28, Homestead on top against Carroll.
Yeah, I was going to say, of course, if you look at that Snyder-Northrop game from a Homestead fan's viewpoint, you hate to see that just based off at what happened week one and, Homestead loses some players that game. But now we got to get refocused here. Second half, going to be a big half for both teams. Going to look to put up some more points.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, who has the most momentum coming into this third quarter out of the halftime break, as Homestead 2 receive the third quarter kick.
Off to the Spartans.
I'd say if you're Homestead, a key here is have a good drive and maybe come out with some points if you can.
35-28, Homestead on top against their rival up north, as they say. Homestead to receive. Kickoff to start this third quarter. Kick is off. That's Keyser at the 10 now, across the 20, across the 25. He spun down out the 27-yard line. Homestead's offense to start.
Homestead's going to look to come out and do what they did the first half. I mean, what they did the first half was very impressive. They had a really good half. So look for them to come out and try and do the same thing.
Spartans get their offense set up. Evan Ormsby, a really good first half. Couple passing touchdowns, rush touchdown. Now he's back out there. 35-28, they lead. 11:54 to go. The third quarter. Ormsby pitched to Hardwick along the right side across 30. He's hit hard and brought down after a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up for Homestead.
Looks like one of the option plays there for Homestead, a read option. Evan either throws it to Hardwick or takes off himself, and then he had a defender in his face, so he threw it off to Hardwick. Hardwick able to pick up a couple yards there.
Steely, one of the players in the tackle, along with Hunter Mertz for Carroll. Now 2nd and 7 for the Homestead offense on their own 32-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 out right. And up to Hardwick again. He's met by Hunter Mertz at the line for Carroll. Doesn't get much.
Yeah, Hunter Mertz flying in there for the tackle for Carroll. He's having a great night, both offense and defense. He's one of those utility players that Carroll uses a lot, but brings up a tough third down here for Carroll, or for Homestead.
Yeah, but also a tough third down for Carroll if they fail to stop Homestead here, because this would be huge for the Chargers, as they couldn't really stop Homestead in the first half. 3rd and 5 for Homestead. Chambers motions to the right side. Ball snapped. Play action, Ormsby to throw along the right side. That's complete. Sparrow, first down and more. Across the 45, about to the 47, gain of maybe 13 or 14 yards. First down?
Yeah, good first down there for Gage Sparrow. Looked like he ran out at about the 45, maybe 43 there for Homestead. So good pass there from Ormsby to Sparrow. Good play.
So Homestead doesn't go 3 and out to start this third quarter. Keeps the chains moving and the clock ticking. Only up by 7. Ball snap. Hand off to Hardwick. Along the left side across 50, now 45. It's the first down. Gain of 11 yards on first down for Homestead. Another first down.
Good run there for Braden Hardwick, picking up the first down. You know, he's having himself a great night. He's got touchdown thrown in there, so picking up another first down.
Beaupre in on the tackle for Carroll. The last play. Another 1st and 10 coming up for Homestead as the offense continuing to play well even out of that halftime break. Officials discussing something at midfield. We saw a number of penalties in the first half. A lot on the line tonight. Both teams 5-1. Homestead controlling their own destiny. If they win, they just need to beat Wayne and Southside to win the bell in back-to-back years.
It was a clock issue there. That's why they stopped it there.
Palmer and Chambers motion to the right side. Kistler on the near side. Anderson far side. Hand up to Hardwick. Runs around the right side. Gets a block. 40, 35, 30. Still on his feet. 20. Hardwick still going. 5. Touchdown. Braden Hardwick. A 45-yard rush touchdown for Homestead.
What a run there for Braden Hardwick. 45 yards. He's having himself a night. I talked to Coach Harkness today. I told him, get Braden Hardwick going. Get the confidence back in him. That's what he's doing. Braden Hardwick, great night for him.
So close to 250 rushing yards, maybe about 240 or so. Had nearly 200 in the first half and then about 45 on that run. So really a perfect first drive to start the second half for Homestead.
Yeah, that's what I said before they went out there. Get some points. It's a big key for Homestead. They got a touchdown. Now they're up by 2 touchdowns.
PAT by Dugan is good again. 42-28. Carroll needing to bounce back after the defense just let Hardwick run all over him.
Yeah, this is where if you're a Homestead defense, I mean, you step up, you get a stop here, then maybe you shift the momentum, you can run the clock down, you know, try and take some time off the clock. So this is a big drive here for the Homestead defense.
Yeah, the Homestead defense without Graham Collin tonight. Some around the area thought he was a key player to watch out for, but in fact not playing tonight. Out with an injury, I believe, against Dwanger. He may return in a few weeks to come, but we'll see about that. But Isaac Barkus was really the one to fill in for his role. He's done a nice job. We saw the fumble return for a touchdown last week in special teams for Barkus against Northside. And a few big plays tonight as well, filling in for Graham Collin.
Yeah, he started off the year with an interception at Lures and then followed it up with a fumble recovery for a touchdown against Northside. Now he's got an interception tonight. Started off the night right for the Homestead defense. So Isaac Barkus, you know, he's out there. He's doing great. So he's definitely a good asset that Homestead has on defense.
This is where the Spartan defense needs to step up and make some stops against Jeffrey Becker in the Carroll offense. Up by 14 right now. Returned from the 5-yard line. That's Lazoff. Across the 30 now, 40 still on his feet. Out of bounds to about 46-yard line. Great return from Aiden Lazoff of Carroll.
Yeah, that's a great return there for Lazoff, getting Carroll great field positioning. Now, like you said, this is where Homestead, they got to step up, get a stop here.
Just shy of midfield. Carroll first down and 10 from the 49.
Chargers, wow. Say he went out of bounds a little bit shorter from where I had originally thought. First and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Carroll ball. Becker with 4 receivers, 2 either side, running back on the backfield. Alongside him, the junior quarterback. Down by 14. First and 10. Ball snapped. Handoff along the left side. As Lazoff across the 40. Hit hard. Ball went out. Homestead says they have it.
Lazoff.
Flag thrown. Ball certainly went out. Homestead says they have it. It was right near the sideline. Had a clear view of it, but a flag was thrown. Officials discussing something.
Player down, too.
You can't see from our angle. Can't even tell who that is from where we're at right now. First and 10 was the play for Carroll. Got a big pickup, but a potential fumble and a player still down near the Homestead sideline.
That is number 10, Aiden Lazoff, down for Carroll.
That's tough. That's their starting running back and really key player. Lazoff still down near the Homestead sideline. This place is silent right now.
That's a key player there for Carroll.
42-28, Homestead leading over Carroll with Lazoff down. The running back for the Chargers. $9:42 to go in the third quarter. Lazoff still down near the Homestead sideline.
They got him up there.
Scary situation for the Chargers, but nice to see him get back on his feet and able to walk off.
Still not too sure. You know, now what comes? They threw a flag. You know, whose ball is it now? Now you start asking the questions.
Yeah, nice to see Lazoff get up, but yeah, now comes the decision.
Personal foul call on Homestead.
Call personal foul against the Spartans.
So they called the targeting after the play happens. It's a questionable call there, but your Homestead, tough break there.
So Carroll catches the break. $42-28, Homestead leading over Carroll, their rival, looking to make it 7 straight wins. And I guess the officials say he was down. And this is one of those moments which has really defined the game so far. I know we've seen a lot of scoring on both sides, but a call like this, extremely important.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very important call. I don't know. I don't really agree with the targeting call there after the play, and tough one.
We know between Homestead and Carroll, emotions can play a part, but I've seen some targeting, and I don't know if that was it right there.
Well, it's not only that. It's just the fact that, you know, we threw it really late. You know, when if you see something, you throw the flag. You don't wait 15 seconds after the play. But tough break there for Homestead.
This is in the favor of Carroll, though. Keeps them alive. Homestead up by 14. Carroll still with possession. Officials sorting it out. There was a fumble. It appeared as Homestead had it, but I guess they ruled the running back Lazoff down. Backup Luke Carmody now in for Carroll, the junior, in for Lazoff.
After the play, it's a 15-yard penalty.
So the 15-yard penalty against
and a first down for Carroll.
Homestead, and big first down for the Chargers.
Just watch the replay here on the live stream. It did appear that he was down when the ball came out.
First and 10 for Carroll at Homestead's 23. Two receivers either side. Becker in the backfield. And Becker keeps it himself, rolls out to the right side, now runs it across the 20. Greener can't take him down. Becker close to the first down marker on the far side of the field.
Yeah, Jeff Becker able to get a run there. A really good gain there.
About a 9-yard gain.
9-yard gain, close to the first down marker, but still a yard shy. 2nd and 1 from Homestead's 14. And off to Carmody. Gets the first down easily. Out to maybe the 8-yard line. Gain to maybe 6.
Luke Carmody on the carry.
That Carroll's got it going now on offense. They got, you know, a little momentum going now. They're heading straight towards the end zone.
Chargers looking for another touchdown to bounce back after giving up a Homestead touchdown last possession. Becker throws left side. That's Coverstone. Touchdown.
Becker to Coverstone.
That is third receiving touchdown of the game. Jamison Coverstone, I believe.
Yeah, Jamison Coverstone with his third of the night. I think you're right on that one. He's having himself a great night. He's one of the players I talked about that if it's not Mason Englert, it's going to be Coverstone. Coverstone's having himself a great night.
So it is his third receiving touchdown. One from 11 yards, one from 13, and that one from 9 yards away. So Becker, another pass touchdown. 42-34. PAT is good. 42-35.
Scores Homestead 42.
A bit of a
Carroll
controversial,
35.
I guess, official call on that last play. Was it a fumble? Was he down? Should it have been a targeting penalty or a personal foul against Homestead? These are the moments that really define the game. And if you're Homestead, really nothing you can do about it now. You got to keep going, got to keep putting up the points because Carroll, their offense also clicking. And it feels like this game is going to come down to whoever has the ball last probably will win.
Yeah, or it's going to come down to a defensive stop. Like I said, one defense is going to come up with the big stop there. But like you said, play's over now. You can't worry about it anymore. You got to stay focused and try and put some points on the board.
So now 42-35 after the Jamison Coverstone 9-yard receiving touchdown. His third of the game. We talk about Mason Englert, the top receiver for Carroll, and good reason, almost 1,000 receiving yards heading into this one. The leading receiver in the state and second in the country. He's directly ahead of Titan Kilgore from Utah. Wrote that down in my notes. Just thought it was a cool name, Titan Kilgore.
I like that name. That's a good football name.
So Englert, statistically, one of the top receivers in the country, and not every state has resumed football, but still pretty impressive for the Carroll receiver. But Coverstone having the big night, 3 touchdowns. Squib kick. Return at Chambers across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
Squib kick.
Homestead gets decent field positioning here, starting on their own 37. I mean, that's not terrible. You could be backed up on your own 25 here, so good field positioning here for Homestead.
And if you are Homestead, you really got to keep this drive alive, keep that Carroll defense out there and try to wear them down because the Carroll offense playing pretty well as well.
Mm-hmm.
But same can be said for the Homestead offense. 42 points so far, 8:45 left in the third quarter. Still a long way to go in this one. First and 10 on the 38. Homestead ball. Kistler on the near side. Sparrow in the slot. Anderson out left. Handoff up the middle. That's Hardwick. Dives forward for maybe 5 yards. About 2nd and 5.
I'd say, yeah, second and 6, 2nd and 5. Good run there for Braden Hardwick. You know, they're going to look to keep him going throughout the night.
So a generous spot, 2nd and 4 for Homestead. 2 out left, 1 out right. Kistler on the near side. Ball snapped. Ormsby throws it off the hands of Gage Sparrow. A little bit high of a pass. Incomplete. Now 3rd and 4.
Yeah, throw a little high there. Almost, a little just out of the reach there of Gage Sparrow. Brings up 3rd and 4 here. This is a big play for the Carroll defense.
Yeah, give their offense a chance to get back out on the field should the Charger defense make a stop here. 2 receivers either side. 3rd and 4. Homestead looks to the sideline for the play. Eight to 8 left in the third. Homestead up by 7. Ormsby finds Kistler complete. First down, across the 45, out of bounds.
Ormsby to Kistler.
Kistler there picking up a first down.
For Homestead.
Homestead's doing a great job on the money downs tonight. They're able to pick up a 3rd down there. So good play there for Homestead.
Gain of 10. And we've seen in recent weeks Kistler really get involved with the short catches rather than the deep balls, which we were used to seeing last year. 1st and 10 at Carroll's 46. Play action. Ormsby looks deep. As Kistler caught, Jared Kistler, end zone, touchdown, Homestead. 46 yards away, Jared Kistler, the touchdown reception.
Ironic touchdown there for Jared Kistler. Matt just said, they don't throw the deep ball. Look at that deep ball catch there to Jared Kistler. Great catch for Jared Kistler. Good to see him getting one. Homestead now up 48-35 pending the PAT.
Not great timing for that comment right there as Homestead goes deep to Jared Kistler. 48-35, 7:55 to go in the third quarter. Dugan for the PAT.
Joe Dugan in to attempt the extra point.
So Kistler receiving touchdown for Homestead. PAT is good. 49-35
49, Carroll 35.
over Carroll. Still so much time left in this game. 49-35, and it feels like neither defense can stop the other team's offense.
Yeah, I don't really think that any team's going to stop until that clock hits 0 on offense. They're both just going to keep on going.
It really is perfect weather for this type of game. It's not too windy out. It's cold, but not too cold. A full moon. Not sure what that has to do with anything, but maybe provide some more light for the players to see on the field. But you never know. 49-35. Homestead on top against Carroll. But in this game, a 14-point lead feels pretty much like nothing, considering how both teams' offenses have played so far, and we've seen a lot of big plays, a lot of very long touchdowns from both teams.
Yeah, both teams are able to fire on all cylinders on offense, so 14-point lead in this game. Cannot get too comfortable with a lead.
That's for certain. So much on the lines tonight. We said that a lot, but it's true. Homestead 5-1. If they want any chance of winning the SAC, they must win tonight. The same can be said for Carroll, who's also 5-1. But their path to the SAC a little bit harder. They need Dwanger to lose, which tonight they're not going to with how big of a lead they had against Lures. Then Dwanger, I believe they still play Northrop. I know week 9. I'll have to check to see who they play.
And then Snyder, the final
Oh, that's right.
week.
So Snyder. So, I mean, not too tough of a schedule for Dwanger to end the season. So Carroll needs a Dwanger loss and a win tonight and win out to win the SAC. Kickoff. Carroll to receive. That's Steely. Lost it for a second. Gets it back up and out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Tucker Steely just couldn't hold on to it, but eventually gets it back. So Carroll, not really good field position on this drive.
Yeah, but it could have been worse. He was able to get a little bit out of the way. Carroll down on their own 15-yard line. So not the best field positioning.
So the Chargers go back out there. Can Jamison Coverstone catch his 4th touchdown of the game? Only a junior. Listed at 5'5", 125 pounds. Not really a big receiver, but Coverstone, 3 touchdown catches already this game.
Him being only a junior. Can't wait to see what he does next year.
Becker keeps it himself. He's brought down. Loss of a couple.
Looks like Trey Kriener in there on that tackle. So a good stop for him getting in there, stopping Becker, not letting him get too far.
It's actually a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 18. Down by 14, Carroll ball. Becker throws right side. Complete to Bowden Height. And brought out of bounds by Ethan Chambers. That'll bring up 3rd and a couple. 3rd and 3 maybe.
Yeah, 3rd and short here for Carroll. And like I said earlier, 3rd downs. Carroll does really well with 3rd downs, so we'll see what they do here.
3rd and short, 2 yards away. 7 minutes to go in the 3rd. Becker handoff to Carmody. Gets the first down to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 7. Finally brought down.
Yeah, finally brought down there. Good gain for Carroll picking up a 1st down. You know, like I said, they do good on 3rd down, so no surprise that they got that one.
Brought down by Etchison the last play. 1st and 10 for Carroll. Becker throws left side. Coverstone makes a defender miss and tackled about midfield by Luke Palmer. Gain of about 20, though. 1st down for Carroll again. They're moving the ball down the field.
Carroll's able to move the ball just really easily, but I guess that goes along with Homestead being able to move the ball easily as well. Both offenses are clicking tonight, no doubt about that.
Spartan defense may be getting a bit worn out. 49-35, Carroll trails. 6:30 to go in the 3rd.
First and 10 from the 49. Becker, plenty of time. Eventually keeps it himself. He's going to run for the first down and more. Eventually brought it down out of bounds to the 30, so gain of about 17 or 18. First down for Carroll.
You know, there was a point in time in that play when it looked like a broken play, and then all of a sudden Jeff Becker, you know, boosts for 15 yards. So no surprise there, Jeff Becker, one of the best in the SAC.
Carroll, hurry up offense. First and 10 from Homestead's 29. Becker handoff. Left side. Running back still on his feet. That's Carmody.
Carmody on the carry.
Yeah, Carmody right there. It's a really good run for Carroll. They just got to keep it going, and that's what they're doing. He picked up the first down as well. Carroll's moving.
Yeah, the Homestead defense struggling right now. Carroll looking to cut into that 14-point deficit. First and 10 from Homestead's 13. Becker, end zone fires. Yeah, there's got to be a penalty. Smith looks like he may have been some contact with the receiver.
You know, like I said in previous games, if you're not turned around to the ball 99% of the time, the ref's going to throw the flag. Flag came in there a little late again, but right call was made.
Yeah, just watch the replay. Clearly, penalty against Homestead. So right call there. As Carroll closer to the end zone after the penalty.
It's just a tough penalty to take if you're Homestead.
Still so much time left in this game. Carroll running the hurry-up offense.
A clock adjustment here.
This is already going to be a late one. Already about 2 hours, 15 minutes into it, and still
Pass interference
at a quarter
half
and
the distance
a half.
to the goal line.
Half the distance to the goal and the penalty. Going against Homestead and Desmond Smith.
We'll replay first down.
Tough break there for Homestead, though. Now Carroll's inching their way forward, close to a touchdown.
First and 10. Hand off to Carmody. Stopped a couple yards short of the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like Carroll's now on the 4-yard line, maybe 3. Really, really close now to a touchdown.
Second down and 1.
Yeah, a bit of a scoreboard and this down and distance issue. Confusion with the penalty.
They give the Chargers a first down.
Chrisman
First down and goal.
runs on the field, subs in for Andrew Baer of the D-line for Homestead.
First down there for Carroll. Gave it to him.
First and goal from the 3. Becker runs to the right side. Still on his feet. It's hit hard. Ball comes out.
Becker with the keeper.
Nothing there for Jeffrey Becker.
Cole Etchison in there on that big hit on Becker. Looked like a flag thrown by that far side official.
Cole Etchison with the tackle.
See what the call is.
Flag on the play. Personal foul on Homestead.
Personal foul against Homestead. Didn't see what that was, but
they called targeting again. That's the second targeting call. Second questionable targeting call as well, but a tough break there for Homestead.
Yeah, penalties hurting the Spartans this game.
Half the distance to the
Half
goal.
the distance to the goal. That is the good thing. The penalty doesn't give Carroll really much more of an advantage in terms of position on the field. Well, they maybe got 1 yard out of that penalty. First and goal from the 2. Can Carroll cut it to a 1-possession game? Can the Homestead defense make a big stop? Ball snapped into the end zone. Carmody, I believe, a rushing touchdown from 2 yards out.
Touchdown there for Carroll from
Hunter Mertz, rather.
Hunter Mertz, touchdown, 2 yards out. Now Carroll's, right back in it. I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot. Carroll's right back in it. But now you got a 1-score game.
Hunter Mertz, a 2-yard rush touchdown.
Another Homestead penalty leads to a Carroll touchdown there.
Lopez PAT. Actually, a fake. 2-point conversion. That's picked off by Barkus. Faked me out.
2-point conversion.
That's huge, really. 8-point lead now. Intercepted. Another interception. Another Barkus interception on Becker. He just needs 2 more to match Jake Archbold last year against Carroll, the sectional championship.
Yeah, it looked like on that snap, high snap, Carroll's placement was not able to get the ball down in time, so he just took it off. He just took off.
I guess that is a good thing about having Becker as the holder. You can have plays like that, and that time it didn't work out, but most times it can. So 49-41, the PAT, well, it really wasn't a PAT, but the 2-point conversion, no good.
It also could be a little dangerous putting your starting quarterback in there. I mean, because you got guys rushing from all different angles. Anything can happen, and on a play like that, it's just another play.
So 49-41. We'll have to see how costly that 2-point conversion or that failed PAT was. And the music selection interesting here, being played at Homestead High School. 49-41. Homestead leading Carroll to kick off. Ball's in the air. Is that Keyser? Or is that Wagner?
Keyser in there.
Keyser. Couldn't tell if that was a 2 or 7. A Keyser, the return for Homestead.
Looked like a trip there, but not called by the refs, so Homestead first down here.
So the Spartans really need an answer.
Yeah.
I know they're still leading right now by 8, but it feels like this Carroll team just so dangerous, able to go down the field. First and 10 for Homestead coming up.
On a night like this, no lead is safe no matter how much you're up by.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it feels like every possession is important. Every possession where a team doesn't score feels like you're almost losing points in a sense.
Well, if you're Carroll, you got to try and get a stop here and, have a shot at getting back in this one.
Maybe force a turnover. Play action, Ormsby. Looks deep, has Anderson. Caught! Nate Anderson! 40-30. Nate Anderson is going to walk into the end zone for another long touchdown reception, this time from 79 yards. Nate Anderson.
What a throw there by Evan Ormsby, just heaving it up. Nate Anderson with the catch. He's able to turn it upfield for a touchdown. Homestead 55, Carroll 41. Great pass and catch there for Homestead. Nate Anderson, what a night from him.
I can't wait to see these final stats. So in one play, Homestead responds. It's 55-41. Dugan on for the PAT. And the Homestead defense won't have much rest, but neither will the Carroll offense when they go back out there. This is also very important for Dugan. Keep it a 15-point game, not 14. PAT by Dugan. That's good. 56-41, so for 2 straight weeks, Homestead puts up 51, or 56 rather, and counting. 56-41 is the score.
Homestead's offense is on a tear tonight, and they're having a great night. Nate Anderson is definitely a key player for this Homestead offense. Proved it tonight. Evan Ormsby is having himself another great game.
I can't even keep track with all the touchdowns being scored. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 5th passing touchdown by my count for Evan Ormsby. That's his 3rd straight game passing for 5 touchdowns.
15 touchdowns in 3 games. Got to be happy with that if you're offensive coordinator. Bill Skelton sitting over there. You got your quarterback 15 touchdowns in 3 games. That's impressive.
Yeah, really incredible, this Homestead offense. And I was looking at the stats earlier. Surprisingly, Luke Goody never passed for 5 touchdowns in a game last season. Had 2 games of 4 passing touchdowns, but Evan Ormsby now 3 games of 5 passing touchdowns all in a row.
It's a very impressive stat.
Ormsby also had a rushing touchdown, so 6 total touchdowns in this game Carroll offense will go back out there. 4:25 left. Kickoff by Dixon. Returned at the goal line. Across the 10. Out of the 20. Along the right side. That's Englert with the return to the 30-yard line.
Mason Englert on the return for Carroll.
Austin Keyser in there on that tackle. Good stop there for Homestead. Not letting him, it looked like he's about ready to break out, but good tackle there for Austin Keyser.
Carroll offense averages 50 points per game. At 41 right now. Homestead at 56 points.
First down and 10 from the 30.
First and 10 from the 30-yard line. Carroll ball. 3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker hands it off to Carmody. The running back breaks free, gets a gain of 6 or 7 yards on first and 10 for a second and short.
Cronin went in there on that tackle from behind there for Homestead. Second and 3 here for Carroll.
Carroll in the hurry-up offense and really needing it based on how quickly Homestead is scoring. Another rush for Carmody. He's brought down. Palmer in the tackle for Homestead. Not much there gained.
He's brought down for a loss by Luke Palmer.
What a tackle there by Luke Palmer. Brings up third down here for Carroll. Man, what a stop this would be for Homestead, right?
Sure would be. And you can tell the Homestead defense just exhausted out there. Carroll doing the hurry-up offense. 3rd and 4 on the 36-yard line. Down by 15. Becker back to throw. Throws it deep. Caught by Englert at midfield. Gain of about 14, first down.
Englert, complete.
Good pass there from Jeff Becker to Mason Englert. First down for Carroll, keeping the drive alive there with that pass.
This Carroll team, gotta like the fight. They don't give up. Down by 15, 3:05 left in the third quarter. To either side, back to throw is Becker. Scrambling. Brought down.
Becker
Isaac Parrish with the sack there.
Isaac Parrish. Fourth sack of the season.
Loss, second down and 12.
Loss of 2. So now 2nd and 12.
It's a great start there for the Homestead defense. 2nd and 12 now.
2.5 minutes to go in the third. Homestead up by 15. Carroll ball. At their own 48, back to throws Becker. Throws it right, has a man wide open. That's complete. First down. Ball's on the ground, but they rule it dead.
To Coverstone.
Coverstone with the catch. Another big catch for him.
Coverstone's having a great night. He's out there making some big catches. Looked like number 9, Max Schultz. Not a name we see a lot on the tackle there.
Yeah, Homestead defense continuing to just be exhausted as Carroll hurry up offense again. Becker keeps it. Somehow gets positive yards out of that.
Schultz in there again. 2 straight tackles for Max Schultz. He's out there doing his job.
2nd and 6 for Carroll, still doing the hurry up offense. 1:50 to go in the third. Becker back to throw. He's chased down, fades the sack. That's complete. That was Carmody, the running back, backup running back, who made the catch.
Carmody in there on that catch.
Just shy of the
first down, third down here for Carroll. Big play.
4 down territory probably, though.
Oh, yeah.
This close to Homestead's end zone. 3rd and 1, but Carroll's been good in these 3rd or 4th and short situations this game so far. Becker quarterback sneak. And from my angle, he got it.
Keeper by Becker.
Looks like the ref on the far side standing right on it. First down for Carroll.
For the first down for Carroll.
Tell you what, this Homestead defense got to be worn out right now.
Yeah, we're worn out just watching this.
Yeah.
Both teams really playing at a high speed and with lots of intensity. 56-41, Homestead on top. Carroll with the ball. Becker, plenty of time to throw. That's intercepted. Is that Burton with another interception for Homestead? Exactly what Homestead needed.
Ryan Burton with his second interception of the night. He's someone that I talked about, previous to the game, someone I wanted to see step up tonight. Man, is he doing that. Ryan Burton, 2 interceptions, just adding on to his stats from the air. He's having himself a great night. Good to see him going for the Homestead defense. Great play there by Ryan Burton.
So for the second straight time these teams match up, Jeff Becker throws 4 interceptions. Bit surprising, considering Becker has thrown 3 all season up to this point. Like I said, all those came against Dwanger. So in 2 games, he has 7 picks. The other games, he has 0. But Homestead's offense out there, and this is where you just really run the clock down. At least try to. Still a full quarter and a minute 11 left, but need to give the defense a break on the sideline, catch their breath. 1st and 10 from the 36 after the Ryan Burton defensive interception for Homestead. Ormsby. And off to Hardwick. He's hit at the line of scrimmage.
Hardwick on the carry.
Maybe loss or not really anything there. 2nd and 10, they say.
Yeah, like you said, maybe just try and run the clock out here. You're heading towards near the end of the 3rd quarter, so just kind of let the clock run its way down.
46 seconds left. The game clock, 20 on the play clock. If you're Homestead, probably just run a play here that lets the clock run out this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10 for Homestead. Ormsby. Complete to Kistler. Not enough for a first down, but he's
fall forward for about a 7-yard
brought
gain.
down by Jorge Valdez.
Homestead will just let the clock run out, or maybe not. Ormsby looks like he's going to come up and call a play.
And 2.
10 seconds left. 3rd and 2 for Homestead.
Just trying to draw Carroll offsides there.
That ends the 3rd quarter.
End of the 3rd quarter. Homestead leading 56-41 over the Carroll Chargers. We're going to take a quick break and be back with the final quarter of action right after this.
with a rebound. The clock hits 0. The Spartans are state champions.
Homestead will win the victory bell for the first time in school history.
Goody to the basket, goes up and throws it down. Boom shakalaka, big another SAC Holiday Tournament crown.
And now, let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football, right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School. Start of the fourth quarter. Homestead leading 56-41. 3rd and 2 for Homestead. And off to Hardwick. Close. Coaches up here say he got it.
Ref on the far side standing in front of the first down there for Homestead.
3 yards at the first down for Homestead.
An important gain for Homestead. They really need to get the most out of every play and the most out of the clock every time. Homestead up by 15. Really the goal is just to not let Carroll get the ball.
Well, right. And if you do, you just want to see a lot of clock taken off the... Now you got Burton coming in at running back now. Hardwick had to go off. You got Burton coming in at running back.
4 receivers set, 1 running back. Ormsby the QB. Before the snap, coaches call a timeout. Apparently didn't like something about the way Carroll was lined up or their play call 56-41. Homestead still on top, 11:23 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 56-41. Homestead having a good run right now. Hardwick was taken off because his helmet came off, and then the running back that was supposed to come in didn't get in fast enough, so then they turned to Ryan to run out there and created all sorts of confusion.
Yeah, just hearing that Hardwick ran off, and there were actually only 10 players on the field, actually. So that's why they called a timeout. I see a final score, Northside 49-6 over Southside. Not really surprising there.
Yeah, no shock.
And Snyder up 44-0, looking for a final. But either way, Snyder got the dominant win against Northrop. So out of the Homestead timeout, which could be costly. They only have, 2 now? Carroll has all 3 timeouts. The clock is Homestead's friend, up by 15. Really big game going on, 56-41. Homestead on top of their rival, the Chargers. Hardwick in his running back, 2 receivers either side. 1st and 10 of the 46. Homestead ball. Match their season high with 56 right now.
I say you just look to run the ball and run some time off the clock.
Hardwick about 230 rushing yards so far. Ormsby throws it deep again, has Anderson. Oh, and he's hit hard. That's really the smart play with how the Carroll defense has defended Nate Anderson today. That's probably the smartest thing you could do. Just push him to the ground. That's not an overstatement. Anderson has had an 80-yard and a 79-yard receiving touchdown tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of a touchdown-saving play, in my opinion. For Carroll, just save the touchdown.
Yeah, that's just a really smart play to take the penalty because Anderson has really owned the DB Cade Dynan tonight. So Carroll, a smart play with the penalty. 1st and 10 for Homestead. 11-17, still plenty of time left in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers either side. Spartans look to the sideline again. Hardwick, the running back. Like I said, well over 200 yards rushing in this game.
Flag before the snap.
Flag for the snap. And a false start on Homestead. That's really not what they needed right there.
Replay first down.
Stopping the clock. And these penalties like this is not exactly what Homestead needed. Up by 15 right now, trying to drain the clock out.
Yeah, that right there. I mean, it just kind of changes the mentality. You think you got a 1st and 10, and now you got a 1st and 15, so maybe the play call changes now that you're back 5 yards.
2 receivers either side. Sparrow, the end around. Has room. Sparrow. A big gain, but still not enough for a 1st down.
I like that right there. The clock's still running. You get really close there. 2nd down and short. Now you got some options. Running the ball. Let that clock run down a little bit too.
Yeah, 2nd and 4 if you're Homestead. You wait every second. Still 20 on the play clock. Oh, looks like they may go a little bit early. 15. Back to snap Ormsby. Can't find anything. He's thrown down, but I guess officials not looking at that. So Ormsby
brought down
is sacked by Carroll. The clock still running.
How they call some of those targetings and then, just turn away on that one, that's a little questionable, but brings up a 3rd down here for Homestead. Now you just got to refocus, not worry about that, and get refocused here.
I mean, Carroll was -7 in Harrell's prediction, so you never know if they had some money on the line or something.
Right. Right.
Just kidding about that. 56-41.
3rd down and 10.
Just a lot of confusion right now on the Homestead side.
Questionable spot. I mean, maybe they don't agree with the spot of where the ball is placed.
Another timeout called by Homestead. And the Spartans up by 15 right now. 9:48 left. I mean, I don't want to sound too negative, but Homestead really needs to keep the clock running down or else Jeffrey Becker And the Carroll offense could really make a comeback, as we saw last week against Northside. The Spartans, they struggled to defend an onside kick given most of the backups were in. But still, Carroll is so explosive and powerful. Homestead really needs to try to keep their offense out there at all costs.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right about that. You give Jeff Becker any time, he'll go out there and make the most of it. I mean, look, they've put up 41 points. You don't want to give them a shot now. Take time off the clock, get some points up on the board, and try and bury this game.
Yeah, the most points scored against the Homestead defense all season. 41. Homestead 56 points. 3rd and 10. Big third down coming up. Ormsby as a man. That's caught.
Ormsby hits Ethan Chambers.
First down.
Chambers with the catch. 14-yard pickup. That's really huge for Homestead. Now they let the play clock run down. Palmer out as H-back, Sparrow in.
You like that play there. Homestead being able to pick up the first down just gives you an opportunity to run the clock down even more now.
Under 9:30 now. And Carroll really hoping for a big stop. 1st and 10 for Homestead. A turnover for the Chargers would be huge here. From Carroll's 25, Homestead ball. Back to throws. Ormsby looks deep. Anderson. Touchdown. Nate Anderson cannot be stopped. A 25-yard touchdown reception.
Nate Anderson is just getting all over this Carroll secondary, and he's having himself a night. Nate Anderson, what a night for him. Evan Ormsby, you know, he gets a lot of credit for that too.
Ormsby now 6 touchdown passes in this one. Career high. Just unbelievable stuff. 62-41. 25-yard catch by Anderson.
Yeah, that's something we talked about previous to that play was get on the board and try and bury it. Great play there for Homestead.
PAT for Dugan coming up. And it's good. 63-41, 9:08. And look at what Nate Anderson has done. A 20-yard receiving touchdown, an 80-yard receiving touchdown, a 79-yard receiving touchdown, and a 25-yard receiving touchdown tonight.
That's close, if not 200 yards right there. I mean, I'm sure he's over 200 yards. I'm sure of that. But he's having himself a great night. You know, a lot to be said about Evan Ormsby, 6 touchdowns. He's having himself a heck of a game. He's decided to really turn up his game at the right time this season.
Yeah, if you're Homestead, not much to complain about there. Still 9:08 left. Down by 22 Carroll. If there's one team in the SAC that can make a comeback like this, it would be Carroll. That Homestead defense just needs to do their job and get the offense the ball back out.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, but I don't know. 63-41. You know, I think if Homestead comes out and gets a defensive stop, this game might be going to head towards the end of the game with a stop here from the Homestead defense.
I would agree with that. But because of Becker being the second leading passer in the state, only behind Deuce Taylor, who Homestead they beat last week, you never know. A lot of emotion on the line tonight. Homestead knows they need to finish strong, and the bell is within reach. Kickoff. That's Steely.
Braden Steely on the return.
Braden Steely.
I'll get up across the 25-yard line.
Now, if you're Homestead, you just need to avoid more of those silly penalties. Or, I guess, really nothing they can do if the officials are making some questionable calls. But Homestead just needs to try to play cleanly and avoid the penalties with a Carroll player down.
Yeah, you just got to kind of get a couple stops here for your Homestead. You know, the ideal situation, you get 3 stops, get off the field, get the offense back out there, run the clock down, but you got to get the stops first.
So Ormsby 6 passing touchdowns, 4 to Anderson. Hardwick with 2 rushing touchdowns. Ormsby a 17-yard rushing touchdown as well. Kistler 2 receiving touchdowns.
Ethan Beaupre
injured on that play there for Carroll.
Yeah, he's the starting free safety. So tough break for the Chargers. He limps off the field.
Not being able to put any pressure on that right ankle or foot or whatever.
Yeah. Now the Homestead defense a little bit more rest. Now it's time to rise up, make some big plays. Up by 22, 8:50 left. Becker back to throw. Becker on the run. He's brought down. About to flag maybe a horse collar.
Flag after the flag.
Or face mask or something like that. Is that Andrew Baer maybe?
I don't mind the calls that they're making, but they're coming so late. Throw the flag when it happens. Don't wait 15, 20 seconds after.
15-yard penalty against Homestead, personal foul. This is exactly what the Spartans don't need, this kind of stuff.
Automatic first down.
Yeah, first down there for Carroll. Tough break there for the Homestead defense, taking a penalty, but just get refocused, get back focused, and try and get a stop.
Can't wait to see the total penalty yards Homestead has totaled after tonight's game.
That's 3 15-yard penalties I can remember.
Carmody gets the first down, splitting the Homestead defense, finally brought down inside the 25-yard line. And Carroll in a great position, 8:20, still plenty of time, down by 22, but moving the ball on offense after the penalty on Homestead. So life for Carroll.
Yeah, life for Carroll, you could say that.
Two receivers either side. 8:13 to go. Becker back to throw. Finds a receiver. That's caught. Tackled inbounds.
Becker's pass is complete. A flag.
Flag. Coaches in here think it's holding.
Yeah, Aaron Wagner over there on that tackle. Good to see him getting himself a tackle.
Holding called on Carroll.
So I guess now this time I'm okay with the late flag. But Aaron Wagner over there on the tackle. It's his first time starting tonight at the cornerback position, so good to see him getting himself a tackle.
It was Cooper Rudolph with the reception, but holding against Carroll. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So the Chargers hurting themselves, but the clock is stopped at 8:06. But it'll return to roll. Once play has started. Now it's started again. First and 20 for Carroll. Down by 22.
If you're Carroll, you look a little bit concerned about that play clock winding down.
Becker hands it off to Carmody. They rule him down. Clock ticking. Carroll need to hurry up offense. Under 7:45 now.
Second down and 18.
You know, if you're Carroll, 7:30 left, you might want to start just thinking about the taking shots at the end zone and trying to stay in this game.
Second and 20 for Carroll. Under 7.5 to go. Becker back to throw. Gets it away. And thankfully no flags. But the clock does stop. Intended for Carmody.
3rd and 20 for Carroll here. It's a big play for the Homestead defense. I think you get a stop. And then they'll go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
So this could be a big drive here for this game.
Even if Carroll does make some big gains, if you're Homestead, tackle them inbounds. Keep the clock rolling. 7:21 left, up by 22. Carroll, 3rd and 20 from Homestead's 33. Becker back to throw. Flag thrown, holding against Carroll. And Becker just throws it away. Can't find anything.
Pass is incomplete.
As
on the play.
couldn't tell if that was Parrish or Bear, clearly held when trying to get to Becker. Carroll lineman can't really find an answer for the Homestead D-line. Just have to, I guess, go to holding as the way to avoid them getting to Becker.
I say you decline this penalty right here. Send them to 4th down.
Keep the clock rolling, yeah. And the officiating.
That Carroll lineman, he's not too pleased with the ref.
Brings up 3rd down and 31.
3rd and 31. 3rd to 36, rather. And, just wouldn't be surprised if Becker somehow ends up getting this first down. just because he's Jeff Becker, the second leading passer in the state heading into this game. Top 10 in the country. 3rd and 36. Down by 22. Becker back to throw. Plenty of time. Rolls out right side. Chased. Still on his feet. He's brought down.
Becker
Luke Palmer.
in the backfield
It'll be 4th and about 40.
by a host of Spartans.
Luke Palmer in there. Tackling Jeff Becker. Great stop there for the Homestead defense. 4th down here for Carroll. They're going to punt the ball.
Ooh, interesting decision.
Yeah.
I guess 4th and 40, probably not a lot of success rate from that distance. I think it'll come down to this. Well, first, if you're Homestead, you got to return it cleanly. You can't fumble it. Get the ball, fall on it. 4th and 39. Maybe a fake, probably not, but 6:20 left. Homestead up 22. Not a fake. It's a high punt. So Homestead will have some decent field position, about maybe the 25-yard line. Punt by Mason Englert, out of bounds. If you're Homestead, run the ball, run the clock down. Up by 22. The Spartans just need to waste a few more minutes. I mean, I still don't know if it's sealed yet just because of Jeff Becker, but right now it appears Homestead, well, clearly dominating.
You can never say a game's over until it's actually over, but I don't know. I think you get like 2 minutes, 3 minutes off the clock here. I think this game is about over.
But Carroll still does have all 3 timeouts. Homestead only 1 timeout. 1st and 10 from their own 27. As long as Homestead doesn't have a 3 and out, should waste a little bit of time off the clock. (63-41) Homestead leads. 6:12 to go. Anderson in motion, nearly stumbles. Ormsby looks deep, has Kistler. It's caught! Jared Kistler to the 25-yard line.
Ormsby to Kistler.
Big gain. 1st down and Homestead in scoring position just like that.
Homestead going with the long ball to Jared Kistler. Great catch. Evan Ormsby, great throw. The clock's running. Well, it was running and now it's stopped.
And this Homestead team, just unbelievable what Evan Ormsby is doing. And I hate to say it, but he's looking better than Luke Goody did last season.
Tonight, I would say the same thing.
Well, yes, tonight. 6 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, probably, maybe 400 passing yards or so. Hand off to Hardwick along the left side, stay in bounds. Along the sideline, tries to stay in bounds, but eventually brought out of bounds.
Now, I don't mean to, say anything good about myself, but it seems like every time I interview someone, they come out and they have a great game. Evan Ormsby doing that again tonight. So, Evan Ormsby's having a great game. A lot to be said about what he's doing.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago against Snyder, it was Kriener, and he had the best game of his career.
Yeah, had a whole bunch of sacks. So maybe we need to start. We need to start being a little bit more strategic about who we interview.
Braden Hardwick, 285 rushing yards right now.
Maybe he'll get a touchdown here. They're going to hand the ball off.
Play clock at 2. Hand off to, or keeps it himself, Ormsby. Brought down at the 5-yard line. If you're Homestead, you run it every play right here. Burn that clock down. Even if a field goal is fine here.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you could even go for it on 4th and goal and make Carroll have to go, 95 yards or so?
Evan Ormsby, 466 passing yards tonight.
That's just crazy.
With 6, wow, what a game.
We were talking about earlier, he was a defensive lineman. Didn't start last season. Played some quarterback as a sophomore. Really was a 3rd string to Goody and Archbold that season, but Evan Ormsby, just an unbelievable play. Hand off to Hardwick. Gets a couple yards.
Yeah, and like you said, D. Lyman last year didn't start. Talking to him in the interview, I mean, he just saw it as there was going to be big shoes to fill and threw himself out there. Said, I can play some quarterback, jumped in the competition and won the competition, and he's showing out tonight.
Too bad he's a senior.
Yeah.
He's looking really good. And his connection with this group of receivers, just amazing.
He said it was as simple as getting comfortable, and he's comfortable now, you can tell.
He may have had one of the greatest turnarounds ever. Threw 4 picks week 2. That was, 6 passing touchdowns and counting. End around, close to the end zone. Sparrow.
The reverse run by Sparrow. He's tackled just shy of the end zone.
Clock's still ticking. That is a good thing, though. 4th and goal from the 1.
Hey, keep your offense out there.
Yeah, you let this play clock run all the way down. Still 25 seconds. And at this point, I think it's safe to say Homestead probably has this one wrapped up.
Yep. Safe to say.
Maybe give to Hardwick right here on 4th and goal from the 1. Or nope, quarterback keeper, sneak.
QB sneak,
Evan Ormsby, touchdown Spartans.
What a great touchdown there for Evan Ormsby. He's keeping his night going. A lot to be said about what Homestead is doing tonight. They are putting together a great game, especially Evan Ormsby. Let's see if they can't break 70 here.
Ormsby, by my count, 6 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and over 450 pass yards.
That's a game. That's a game and a half right there for Evan.
PAT by Dugan.
The old 7-0. 70-41 Homestead.
You know, I bet if Northside, if any of you Northside players are watching right now, I bet you're chuckling when Carroll put up 70 plus on the Legends earlier on in the season. Homestead puts up 70 on Carroll.
Yeah, it's a great turn of events. 70 points by Homestead. You know, they even do have a shot at getting the ball back, but they won't do anything with it, I'm sure. But great night, Evan Ormsby. He had a great night. Isaac Barkus, 2 interceptions. Ryan Burton, 2 interceptions. So while you can't count out the defense, Carroll had it rolling, and then they held him to a stop. Ryan Burton, of course, 2 interceptions. He's having himself a great night.
And against Wayne and Southside the next couple weeks, you don't want to jinx it or do anything like that, because still you have to play. Every down is important, but bottom 2 teams in the standings, Homestead takes on the next 2 weeks. You got to think the victory bell is going to stay at Homestead another season.
Yeah, I mean, you can't overlook next week. You know, next week could be a trap game, as people would say. You know, you think you're rolling high, and then Wayne's not a terrible team, so you can't, you got to stay focused.
Kickoff. Steely across the 20. He has room. Homestead needs to bring him down, still on his feet. And finally, Burton brought him down somewhat, along with
Aaron Wagner.
Wagner, right.
Wagner in there on the tackle. Then Ryan Burton with the push down. Talk about Ryan Burton, a lot tonight. But there's a lot to be said about him. 2 interceptions. He's got 27 total tackles on the year, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for a loss. So I'm sure we'll come back and look at his stats after the game, and they're going to be boosted by a lot.
Yeah, last season against Carroll sectional title, Jake Archibald, the incredible game. I don't think Evan Ormsby is quite to that level with 4 defensive interceptions and 4 different types of touchdowns, but it's certainly up there with one of the greatest performances, at least in the series history. Handoff. Carmody, gain of 3, 2nd and 7 coming up.
3-yard pickup.
Even Carroll,
2nd down and 7.
they know this one's out of hand. 70-41, Homestead on top.
You look for a couple substitutions here by the Homestead defense. Going to look to sub some people in, sub some people out.
Senior night. I think we see Gabe Musu in our sports broadcasting class. Nice to see him out there on the field.
Phoenix Haggard out there as well, and Elijah Slavin.
It's great to see the seniors come out.
Yeah.
.236 to go. Homestead up 70-41. Handoff. And Becker is out. That's
Luke Palmer in there on the tackle. Good to see him still going. No stopping the train when Luke Palmer comes flying through there.
Logan Swain, the senior in a quarterback. Yeah, this Homestead team really did not think they would win by this much against a very good Carroll team. And make no mistake, the Chargers, they're a good team. Come sectional time, This is going to be probably a lot closer of a matchup, but right now Homestead just dominating. They cannot be stopped.
Yeah, in sectionals, it's always turned up to an effect, so probably won't be this close, but it's a great game.
Handoff again up the middle. And this Homestead team, even with last season's great talent all around, they never put up a game quite like this. Vic Davison, a senior. Nice to see him get out there. Someone that really doesn't get much playing time. Yeah, senior night at Homestead. Just really nice to see a lot of seniors out there right now for the Spartans.
Yeah, good to see seniors out there getting in their playing time. That's always great to see.
Carroll to punt. Down 70-41. This is not basketball. Punt. Nice Carroll.
Punt goes out of bounds.
Roll and bounce. That is a flag. That's a couple flags thrown, maybe a world record in height. Got to be honest. That flag almost flipped to the press box. At this point, if you're Homestead, just don't do anything dumb on the sideline. Already up big. Don't cost yourself anything. 58 seconds to go. You're up 70-41.
That's not a smart penalty, to say the least there. But varsity offense going to come back out here with 58 seconds left.
You know, we saw Carroll run up the score against Northside. We referenced that earlier. I mean, two rivals.
Unsportsmanlike penalties called on both sides.
Unsportsmanlike on both sides. The only risk here could be an injury. Not sure if you can hear in the background, but coach is celebrating.
Offensive coordinator Bill Skelton over there clapping it up. His team with a big victory tonight, scoring 70 points. Heck of a game for him calling that.
And to be honest, the defense did a pretty good job holding Carroll to 41, which sounds odd to say, but Carroll's offense is one of the best in the state. Held them 9 below their season average.
Yeah, defense coordinator Tim Messel. Heck of a game for him, too, on the call. Two great offensive coordinator and defense coordinator for Homestead. They got this team really, really set up for the postseason.
All right, Homestead not going to run up the score, just going to take a knee, which is the right thing to do. I don't know why. I thought they might try to go for something, but going to take a knee. 58 seconds left. This will be the 7th straight win against Carroll for Homestead. Homestead, another win, going to improve to 6-1 overall. Carroll fall to 5-2 out of the SAC race. And it's down to Homestead and Dwenger tied at 6-1 in the standings, and Homestead the head-to-head advantage win. Spartans just need to close out Wayne and Southside, and the bell's theirs again.
Yeah, next week should be a fun game.
Maybe the weather will be a little bit nicer than last week, but...
Well, the weather will be nicer for me.
We're not going to talk about that now. Maybe a different time. The clock ticking down. Homestead gets the 70-41 win against their rival, the Carroll Chargers. Just an unbelievable performance from Evan Ormsby. 6 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. Final 70-41, Homestead over Carroll. Just speechless right now. Homestead did the unthinkable, putting up 70 and winning in a blowout, really, what it turned out to be.
Yeah, that's a great victory for Homestead. You talked about the offense side, so I'll hop on here on the defensive side. We got Ryan Burton, 2 interceptions. Heck of a game for him, bouncing back. You know, he's trying to boost his stats up, so he had a great game. Love to see what his stats look like after the game. Barkus had himself 2 interceptions as well. So I'm really excited to see Burton's stats after the game, just to see where he's sitting now.
Just want to call out a few people, most notably Blitz, who picked Carroll to win by 2. Gotta like Summit City Sports. They picked Homestead to win by 10. A little bit more than that, but nice for them to pick. Massey and Harrell both had Carroll winning. So Spartans, when facing doubters, they performed well again and really just unbelievable. Ormsby, by far the best
game he's had all season, and it feels like we're saying that every weekend. That's because each week he's playing better and better. The senior quarterback, who was a defensive lineman who on the backup side on the JV team, didn't really get much playing time last year, and now is the starting quarterback. 6 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, great game for Homestead on the offense side of the ball. Matt's taking a look at the stats right now, so he'll tell us those here in a second, but great game for Homestead all around.
Ormsby 466 passing yards, Hardwick 287 rushing yards. So Hardwick nearly 300 rushing yards, which don't have in front of me, probably a career high.
Yeah, great game all around for Homestead on the offense. Evan Ormsby had himself a heck of a game. Hardwick getting the ball rolling. Great game for him as well.
70-41 your final. Nate Anderson, also a great game for him. At one point, Carroll, they couldn't defend him, so they just had to tackle him when the ball was thrown his way and get a pass interference, because that was really the best case scenario, because Anderson just made the Carroll defensive back just really look foolish.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was kind of the smartest play, I guess you could say there, was just knocking Nate Anderson down. But like you said, defense showed up tonight, 41 points for Carroll. I know 41 points, wow, a lot of points. But when it comes to an offense like Carroll, holding them to 41 points, a lot to be said about that. You know, you could give shout-outs to everyone on the Homestead defense, but like I said earlier, Burton had himself a game. Kriener in there on some tackles, Barkus in there. So great game for the Homestead on defense, too.
We have some stats, and this may take a while to get through all this, but hang in there. Scoring by quarter, Homestead 14 in the first quarter, 21 in the second and third quarters, 14 in the last quarter, and Carroll shut out in the final quarter. Ormsby, like we said, 466 passing yards, 6 passing touchdowns. Hardwick, 287 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Nate Anderson, 230 receiving yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. And for Becker, 233 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns. He had 153 rushing yards along with a rushing touchdown, so Becker really did a nice job on the ground as well.
Yeah, Becker had himself a great night for Carroll. No doubt about that. This Carroll football team is a very good football team, and I'm sure come sectional time they're going to want this rematch, and if they get it, they might come out with a fire for sure.
Coverstone, 3 receiving touchdowns with 102 receiving yards. Total plays, Carroll had 92 total plays. Homestead only had 54, but the Spartans outgained them by over 200 yards. Homestead had 787 yards of total offense. Carroll, 557. Both teams over 300 yards on the ground. Let's see, more stats. 16-24, Ormsby. Like we said, 466 passing yards, 6 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Becker had, well, it was really 4 interceptions because 1 came on a 2-point conversion. Anderson, 230 receiving yards on 5 catches, an average of 46 yards per catch and 4 receiving touchdowns. Kistler, 8 receptions for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chambers and Sparrow with 2 and 1 catches, respectively. And more stats. Let's see, rushes. Homestead had 29 rushes for 321 yards, an average of 11.1 yards per carry. That's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, every stat that you just read to me was amazing. Those stats are great. The Homestead offense showed out tonight, you know, putting up 41 points. I don't think a lot of teams would win, but Homestead able to put up 70 points against a Carroll team that, you know, they're not a bad team all around. So Homestead showed out tonight. Big game for them.
Homestead 7-9 on third down conversions, averaged 14.6 yards per play. Any final thoughts from you, Chris, before we sign off?
You like to see this carry over for the next 2 weeks. You don't want to, you know, lay an egg in a game. But before we sign off again, just shout out to both sides of the, you know, offense looked great, defense looked great. So both teams fired on all cylinders tonight. Just a great game overall for Homestead.
Thanks to our radio sponsors, Casa Ristorante, First Federal Savings Bank, Marco's Pizza, Moe's Southwest Grill, and Arby's, as well as our exclusive video sponsors, Fort Wayne Orthopedics and Optimum Performance Sports. Once again, your final score in football is Homestead 70, Carroll 41. Thanks to those who helped out with the broadcast tonight: Ashton Hackman, Andre Sentliver,
Caleb Wood, Tyler Veit, and Trevor Newhouse, along with supervisors Adam Schenkel and Andy Dunn. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you next Friday as Wayne hosts Homestead and football.